had D&D play. Yeah, that's gonna be the whole session, just talking about Critical Role. It's like, okay,
In very vague ways, so we don't spoil
I
anything.
started
Yeah.
recording.
Oh,
we're
boy.
gonna start we're gonna end our Critical Role talk, and it's gonna be like, all right, and then Dave's gonna be like, I gotta go.
No, I did my homework. I'm good.
Good.
That was for
You're a
you,
good
Bree. You
student.
wanted it recorded.
Couldn't even understand it.
Oh, Flappers, can you say your chicken?
Oh,
just
I
did.
thought.
I want my chicken tendies! My god.
Fucking hell.
Still great.
I'm gonna mute all of you.
You're gonna run the whole session without saying a word, being able to hear
Yeah.
a word we say.
She's actually gonna control all of our characters' actions.
Rocks fall, everyone dies. The end.
Can I die first?
Same.
Please.
Sure.
I don't. I have
Everyone
like
dies
barely.
first. Everyone
Thank God.
Everyone dies at the same time.
instantaneously.
It's a chain reaction of heart attacks.
That's all I really wanted.
Alright, let's start.
So who remembers where we left off?
Oh, we're
Been a
in a
while.
We
bar.
were searching for the girl,
Uh-huh.
and I remember we found like the creepy like dungeon place or something. Because I think that's where we stopped. We were searching for something. We like found where they kept the girl.
We
We
found
found the building.
dress.
had The symbol that we found embroidered on the symbol that Hazel said was embroidered on the guy's like handkerchief. Or whatever.
Yeah.
And we went in there, and there was a room that was enchanted, so you couldn't hear anything. There was also a chest, manacles, and chains. The chest contained a bunch of dresses and clothes of people that like we didn't know, but it also had Anya's clothes in it and the pendant that Yorin specifically described to us. We then gave, I think, the dress to Fenrir, had him sniff it, and he started leading us around, and we made it to the Lone Wolf, where Fenrir got a splinter and cried.
Like a little bitch.
Shut up! That's my wolf you're talking about.
And
Wolves are all wolves are good puppies.
Rundus took Fenrir outside and started drinking.
I took a swig. That's not drinking.
Oh.
You're probably still drunk from the
No.
What was the other? There was the
No. Pup was like,
the death or something?
I asked Pup if I was sober, and he's like, yeah,
By now.
you're a little sober.
You're a little slower, so you're
He's a
Are you
little-
sober, pup?
sober. No,
She's all drugged up.
a little bit.
A little bit.
Oh, I'm telling Stanky, you're gonna get banned for illegal use of drugs.
3!
Wow! Wow!
Anywho, we had Rundus and his whiny bitch of a wolf outside.
Wow.
We
Rundus
had
barks at the narrator. Hello. No.
Barks at the narrator, just break the fourth wall.
Yeah.
yeah. The rest of you were directly.
What?
No, I think Pup's breaking up.
Hello.
Oh, there you are.
I said what?
You said the rest of us are, and then you like cut out.
Oh, because I was turning to look at my dog.
Oh,
and
okay.
My mic is stupid.
How
Oh,
dare
Oh
you?
wow, it's just like Fenrir. Dumb little dog.
Yeah.
I actually
told
don't
all
know
my
where
favorite
my dog
dogs
is
from.
right now. I hope you're not pooping on something.
Probably is.
Yep.
100%.
She's 2 months old. She doesn't know.
She's learning.
She's so young.
My 4-year-old baby. Anywho. The rest of you are still inside, if I remember correctly?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mildly dealing with a slightly agitated is a kind of the word I would use. Some of them had risen to their feet, others looked a little scared or defensive, and the others were just like, what the fuck? Got mild stages of apprehension all throughout the rest of the room. And it is pretty crowded in here. What are you doing?
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna keep like skirting the outside because I like went in and went to the side away from the door
Mhm.
and was like looking for people. I'm just gonna keep continuing to look for anyone that has that emblem on them.
Give me a fresh perception check because it's been a while.
Excuse
Wee.
Wee.
Perception.
Perception. Okay.
Right word.
Hey.
You are keeping a sharp lookout for any semblance of that symbol. However, no one is like brazenly wearing it outward. It doesn't seem to be an accessory on anyone that you notice right away. Alexa, I was not talking to you.
So rude.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Damn right you don't notice it. God damn it.
Oh, that was perfect.
Every time I say something that remotely sounds like her goddamn name. Regardless, it doesn't seem to be brazenly displayed by anyone currently within the Lone Wolf. What are the rest of you doing?
Hi, sorry, I had to talk to my
I'm
mom.
still outside.
So I think
Yes.
I don't remember. Did I ever leave? I don't remember if I left the building.
I don't. We like the second Fenrir became a little bitch. We like stopped.
Mhm.
Basically, they went out and then we stopped it.
Can you stop being so rude to my dog, please?
Can you get a
It's a
tougher
wolf.
dog?
Do you want
So-
to for him to be his for you to be?
I do. Yeah.
Good insult.
Can
Nice comeback.
Do you
so
want
the building
him
the
to be
building
your
that
mount?
Yes.
the building that we were at did we because we already inspected like the front of it, right? Could we see like the sides of it at all?
Are you
Like,
talking about the
around
house?
back? Yeah.
The house or the Lone Wolf?
Well, like the house where we found all the stuff.
Yeah, no, they just went for the front door.
I guess I'll go out and kind of like look around and see if I see anything. Oh right, we already left. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I'm
I
sorry.
know, it's okay.
Okay.
You guys are at the tavern because Rundus's wolf led you to a intersection of streets not far from it. Yeah.
Well. Cat character. I think. I don't. No, never mind. Ignore me.
Noted.
Yeah,
I
why are you
forgot.
in character?
It takes me a good 5 minutes to prepare.
Yeah.
for
Why don't you go
this.
distract them so we can look a little better?
Yeah, I'm like trying to get back in mind of what I was doing before.
Yep.
It's been so long.
Yep. Yep.
So we're
I
just looking. What? Okay, my computer. So we're just looking for the symbol around. I think.
Yeah, that's what Bree was intend done.
Do we have any like? Do we have? Is it like a patch we're holding, or
No.
Wait, yeah. Don't we have a handkerchief?
Oh yeah.
We found one.
who's in possession of it? I think I'm not gonna do my voice right now. Sorry, I just can't do it right now. But I think what I would do is snatch the pendant out of your hand, jump on the nearest bar stool, and say, "Hey, have you seen anything like
Bree.
this?"
I forgot about his voice.
Bree, do you have that in your hand currently?
Well, never mind. Ignore me. I just see.
Also, isn't the pendant her pendant? So it's not even
Yeah.
like the symbol.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be stupid.
Flappers, no.
Crunch, crunch, crunch. Oh, good.
Oh,
So we still
good.
gotta hear it, and now we gotta talk about it.
Now people watching at home are gonna be like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
For the viewers at home,
For
Bree
the
was
viewers
just
at home,
grumbling.
I was closing a packet of
For the
crackers because I
2
need
people
food.
that watch this,
Wow, Bree, way to the experience for everybody.
Hi.
Yeah, man, my immersion is totally ruined.
Our last episode actually has like 30 or 40 views on it.
Oh,
Alright.
Jesus.
Is it really?
All right, so Ellie made 30 or 40 emails, and then
Feels bad.
Good.
Got 'em.
Regardless.
48
Ahem.
views.
Jesus. Castian.
we're back.
I go up to the bartender.
Okay.
I ask them, what do they look like?
You ask them what they look like?
No, I changed my mind.
I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah.
I'm incredibly blind. He is a gentleman in his like mid to late 20s. Blonde, scraggy hair, kind of shaved close to his head, with a very like thick, bushy mustache that leads into. I don't want to say mutton chops, but somewhere between sideburns and mutton chops. He's got
Side chops.
some serious beardage going on, or starting to go on. He's dressed pretty plainly, both upper arms exposed with the sleeves rolled up as he casually talking to another customer, cleaning off a mug.
I go, excuse me, sir. I'd like a ale, please.
I love.
An ale, not AL.
An ale.
I only ever drink ale.
He gives you a nod and goes to prepare the drink for you.
I'm gonna walk inside. And I'm gonna help
And
him.
I ask him, I go, sir, have you seen a large, portly man, probably with a woman, pale skin, red hair, coming in here anytime recently?
He's really tall.
Everyone's tall to me.
He kind of tilts his head a little. Oh, I could think of a few gentlemen that might fit that description, but
He wasn't. He wasn't fat. He was.
I thought he was.
Mm-mm.
Oh shit.
but a lady like that I'd probably remember. Can't say I've seen her.
You can't say you have?
Nah. But I'm not always here. There's usually
Is
one
there
or
anyone
two
else
others
working?
that come through. Yeah. It depends when you think they breezed in.
Last 4 days ago.
As you walk up and join the conversation.
Oh yeah, hi.
Hi, hello.
Hi.
Just hovering behind him. Hi.
Accurate.
I'd have to check who was working that night, but I could take a look at the books.
Much appreciated.
As he sets the ale down in front of you, Castian, and moves further down the bar and starts rummaging underneath the surface.
Hand the ale to Leah.
I only drink brandy.
I put it back.
I'm gonna walk inside without Fenrir. Like I told Fenrir to stay outside.
Fenrir just
Just kinda-
sullenly, like, settles down.
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. With the amount of panic that Leah is right now, she would probably drink it anyways. Give me it.
So you offer it to her, she rejects it, you put it back down, and then maybe there's a 3-second pause before she snatches it off the bar top and just knocks it back. At a complete...
What was that word?
Huh?
You
You
robot.
cut out.
Oh, I said at a complete loss of self-control.
Accurate, yeah. Sounds fucking right.
I think Rose is just being kind of quiet right now, is kind of watching people, because I don't think she has anything to ask that anybody else hasn't already.
I think I think I'd go out and check on Doggy and Weird Rude Man.
Weird Rude Man is nowhere to be seen outside.
He went back in.
Oh, okay. I go check on Doggy.
Yeah. Fenrir is currently half curled up near the entrance of the tavern, with his head kind of nestled between the two front paws as he's laying down, the ears resting back.
I think I'd lay down on my belly, hands and chin, and say, "Hey, Doggy, it's okay. We all have moments like that." That's all.
Make an animal handling check.
Oh God. I gotta remember how to do this first off.
You open up your character sheet.
Yes. And click on it.
Yeah.
It probably won't be good.
Hey!
Hey!
Oh.
That minus. That's a.
At nat 20 with a minus
It's a nat
1.
20 with a -1.
Kind of like how I got a
Easy.
nat 1 with a -1. Except better.
So it's actually useful.
As you give your brief little inspiring statement, and Fenrir's ears kind of flick forward and tune towards you as his big eyes kind of blink slowly and just stare at you.
I only have one.
Yes. My apologies.
God.
No, it's fine.
Kind of
I no, it's my fault. I didn't give a description of him. So
Unbelievable.
as the one eye focuses on you, Garrick, and just you see the shoulders as he's kind of like hunched up. The shoulders kind of just drop down and droop a little bit, and he lets out a like just this long huff of a sigh, kind of like conceding. I know, but still.
I pet him on the head and say, "Good doggo."
Oh my god, I love it.
I hope you two become like unlikely friends.
I want to ride him.
Can't believe Fenrir just got a new owner. Crazy.
Back in the bar.
Back in the bar.
I walk in.
Walk up in the bar like, what up? My wolf is okay.
As you enter, a few people give you a cautious look.
I give them a cautious look as well.
Nice.
I kind of intimidate, like not intimidate. What's the word?
Yeah,
Copy
because that went well last time.
That was Fenrir that failed intimidation, not me that failed.
Like owner, like wolf.
Oh my god.
So I see my crew at the bar, and I'm gonna sit down next to him.
Hand him the empty ale cup.
I drink out of it.
It's
And
empty.
like, it's empty.
There is
Yeah,
nothing. He just
Oh,
handed
yeah.
you a cup of lies.
No, yeah, I still drink
Come
out
on,
of it.
life.
I just drink the air. Okay, I play along.
God damn it.
Personally, I am always a big fan of Cup of Lies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love drinking lies.
I love a couple lies right at the end of the day, right when you get home from work. It's
I'm
just-
gonna look around
Yeah.
the bar if there's anything to do. Maybe like a dartboard, I don't know, something.
Do some karaoke.
With how packed this place is right now, it probably would be the best idea. Let me look to see if there is a dartboard. I'm not gonna stop you.
It wouldn't be
Yeah.
the best
No, I'll check it
idea.
out.
You might dart someone in the fucking eye.
No, I'll
It's
check it
fine.
out.
He's a ranger.
I
It's not
believe
like
in
he's
you.
gonna. It's
Is
not like
that
he's gonna
his
roll another nat
specialty?
one.
Is
Yeah,
that
it sounds like a
his fucking
specialty.
Okay.
Look, okay. I'm going to a dart. If I find it, I'm going to it. I'm just letting you know.
Okay, that's fine.
Give me an investigation, just really quickly.
Who?
All right,
Everyone?
me.
Brandis.
Then I want to do.
Run
Bio,
this.
right? I'm doing it. One sec. Investigation.
Really?
Bam.
With disadvantage.
No.
How do you roll in that 20 and in that one?
I did
You
that like
can.
twice last time.
Yeah.
I know, no, but he every
It's the
time.
balance of power.
No, but it's run this.
As you're,
Yeah, so there should be 2 nat ones.
as you're kind of scanning across through the crowd, you watch as a gentleman who's bringing over a few tankards for the people at his table, as he sits down. He's a considerably broad individual. As he sits, you see kind of slightly cocked to the side, but hanging in place, a dartboard that looks like it hasn't been used in a little while.
God damn it.
So the person has the dartboard, right?
No, it was hanging on the wall behind him.
Oh, okay. I thought he was like setting it up. I'm sorry.
It's on his back.
Oh god damn it!
I'm gonna walk up there. I'm gonna throw some darts.
Alright.
It takes
Maybe,
a little
like,
bit of
God.
excuse me,
Look
excuse me,
around if anyone else wants to play.
to get people to move out of the way, but
Alright.
there are 4 darts currently lodged in the cork.
Rose decides to follow you up there.
I'm gonna.
You have to throw up.
Wait,
Do
what
what?
was that?
You would have to throw upward.
I know. It's gonna be fine.
I'm gonna take the 4, and I guess I see Rose, and you want to play?
Oh god, the voice.
She looks up at it and she's just like, and she's just like, can you get a handicap?
No. Don't be silly.
And then she just sits in the chair nearest to you and just goes, then I'll watch.
All right. And then I take the first dart and I throw it.
Alright, so roll a dexterity-based attack.
D20. Don't worry, I got a. Where is it? A +3 dexterity.
Oh my god.
God.
Yay!
So you let loose the first dart, and it makes the satisfying ding. That is, it impacts, but it impacts maybe 5 inches below the left bottom corner of the
Okay.
dartboard itself.
Oh my
Just stuck in the wall. That's
I
one.
kind of.
Don't worry, I have +3.
Every
Shut
time.
up! I kind of like loosen my arm a bit. Maybe I'm a little rusty. And then I throw the second one.
Oh my god. Okay, that's a little better.
You managed to find cork on this one, though it's in the third ring.
All
Kind
right.
of off to the
Third
to
one,
the
here we
right
go.
side.
There we
Okay,
go.
this one
Just
is
had to warm up.
this
Yeah.
one's just barely outside the center.
All right. Bullseye. Here we go. Dude, I have a magic mouth. I just like whenever I want something good to happen, the complete opposite.
So you're like, all right, bullseye, here we go. And you're like, you pull your arm back for this with this final dart, just kind of taking that deep breath, and you hold it and you let it loose, and it wedges itself
Oh god.
in the crevice of where the wall meets the floor,
Okay.
directly underneath the dartboard.
Rose claps.
I flick Rose off.
She smiles.
I flick her off again.
Double bird in the face.
Yeah. I'm gonna get the darts back.
Oh god.
Oh no,
gonna-
God. Someone end his turn.
Look, I just throw the darts while other people are doing what they have to do.
So you're doing that.
Yeah.
Everyone else,
Did he bring over the ledger to see who was working the other night?
he's just kind of flipping back through pages. He's like trying to find like a clear spot on the bar. Like kind of pushes aside someone's mug, kind of grumble at him in response, but don't really do anything because he's the one providing the alcohol. So
Huh?
Sorry, someone's messaging me. Why? Please go away. And he goes, "Oh, okay, sorry." He flips back a couple pages and kind of trails his finger over the scrawls of yeah. All right. Oh, yikes.
Oh god.
I don't envy you. If you're one to talk to who was working here that night, her name's Talundra.
God damn it.
She's she's a great sort, really. Truly. Just a little sour at times. Just she's a bit of a sensitive type.
Do you know when she's gonna be working again?
She's supposed to come tomorrow afternoon is her next shift, but she lives in the city. Doesn't live far from here, actually.
Would you mind directing us in the right direction?
What? That?
He kind of she's he kind of wipes his nose towards the you go out, you go you're right a ways, maybe 6 or so houses down, where the area starts to get real residential.
All right.
Is her door is painted this red color.
Oh.
What do you mean this red color?
Oh.
Just red or?
Yeah, it's a bit bright.
Okay.
She's not one to not stand out.
Interesting. Can you tell us what she looks like a little bit, just to double check we're in the right place?
He kind of like smiles a little briefly. Well, I'll say that she prioritizes her looks a bit too much.
Oh.
Thankfully, the folks who come here regularly have learned not to get the wrong idea, but if you look for the smell of powders and perfumes, you'll probably find her.
Look for the smell? Is that what you said?
Dino, shut the fuck up.
Aren't you failing at darts right now?
He is, and Rose is laughing at him.
We don't
Every
know
time
that. That was one game.
I've been hearing this whole thing, and I hear after he gives us the directions, I go and look for Rose and Rundus to tell them that we're gonna leave soon.
Alright. You arrive as Rundus is trying to hide his shame.
Oh, I was hoping he was gonna be throwing a dart and I was gonna smack him. I'll
What?
still smack him.
Can I assume dodge? Can I dodge the smack?
Press tab.
I would say roll an attack with advantage, Bree.
Oh my god.
Just a regular attack or dexterity base?
Strength base.
Strength base. Roll
believe in you.
I like that you're rooting for her to hit her own teammate.
Plus.
Why wouldn't I root for her to hit her own teammate?
Yay! Oh wait, I get to do it
And
again.
then do it again. Yeah.
20.
I have an AC of 13, so
Yeah. So you go to smack him upside the back of the head, and you just kind of clip your bottom two fingers across the crown of his head. It doesn't hurt at all. It just kind of
Can I reach that
dinks
high?
him. Yeah, it just kind of dinks him.
Yeah, you're only a few inches shorter than I thought. Or like 6 inches.
I kind of just ignore it, really. I just like, I turn around. What do you want?
We're leaving soon.
All right. As soon as I leave, before I walk away, I'm gonna throw one final dart.
Can I try and smack his arm before he throws the dart, like right?
That's gonna impale someone.
Just
You enter combat.
roll initiative.
roll initiative, bitch. One time, my friend sent me this text post that was just, if you just carried a D20 in your pocket, why would you do that? It's like, so if someone bumped into me, I could pull it out and go, roll initiative, bitch.
Is it bad that I actually do that?
There is a post that I saw, and it was like, whenever I'm dealing with a bad customer, I just take out I just take out a D20 and I roll and I see if I care or not. All right.
I mean, how else do you deal with customer service, really?
Make your dex check, man.
All right.
Oh, do I have to roll another attack?
No.
If it was higher, then maybe.
Brenda says you're like half-heartedly starting to walk away, and you've set down the other darts. One moment. You half-heartedly chuck this one, kind of like tip of your tongue sticking out, one eye kind of squinty, and just throw, and it's like where this is kind of like an alcove underneath the stairs. It just barely stays in the alcove.
Nice.
Like it's skewered part of the outer corner.
See how good I am? That was pinpoint precision right there.
I think you see now.
All right, I'm ready to leave. Let's go.
God fucking damn it.
I go to the bartender. I go, is there anything else we should know? Anything else we should look out for?
You're not planning to get into trouble, are you?
No.
Trouble follows us.
It just, I mean, you said she's an interesting lady, so I don't want to step on the wrong foot.
She's just the eccentric type.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Well, you've been a fantastic help. How much for that ale?
Just 2 silver.
I give him 5
How
silver,
much for a keg of ale?
and I leave.
No.
And a nod.
Oh, we gotta. You know what? Why not? I'm gonna walk up to the bar, go to the bartender. Arm on the bar, one arm.
Isn't Breeze supposed to be the drunk?
I think they both are.
I only had 1 cup of brandy, and I didn't even drink all of it. Someone helped
Breeze
me.
is the drunk in real life. I'm the drunk in D&D. So,
Can't wait till you fill his constitution.
how much for a keg of ale?
Oh God.
If you do sell them by keg.
God damn it.
I'm afraid we don't. We tend to. He kind of gestures behind him, and you see There's where any other bar would have like rows and rows of bottles. You see maybe 8 or so feet wide kegs.
What a perfect carry.
No.
I think Rose just kind of leans over and she's like, and kind of tries to kind of whisper, like, "Aren't we investigating?"
Yep. I just leave him there. I walk outside.
Yeah, let's just leave.
I'm investigating how much this costs.
Rose shrugs and then just follows Dave's character, whose name I forgot.
I kind of,
Terrible person.
well, not the type of keg. All right, I'm gonna go, and I walk out the door.
God.
Kind of waves. Go.
I wave back. I don't wink. I just wave.
Just
Thank you for specifying that.
I just stand up and wave over to them and yell out, "Hey guys, how going there? Go good? They're very good."
Oh gosh.
Rose goes, "Did you convert anybody to rock Jesus?"
The Lord and Savior picks his disciples very, very carefully.
Oh, it's only in the whorehouse. Got it.
Exactly. The nice lady house.
The nice lady house.
oh boy.
Oh,
I'm gonna
before-
start
before
walking.
we-
No.
Before we really leave, I kind of like,
Oh my god.
you know, gesture Fenrir because I want to bring it. I want to be like, all right, I send out Fenrir, and Pup's like, oh, you left him at the bar.
No, Fenrir. As soon as you guys are outside, he gets up to follow you.
Yeah, all right. I give him a
Let's
little
go.
spur.
And
Yep.
I look,
Vámonos.
Where to?
I look at Garuk and I'm like, we are not stopping anywhere. We are going straight there.
We know how much you want to go back, Bree. It's okay.
Are you
Gonna
okay?
start walking to what's her face's house?
Talindra.
Talindra. I was gonna say Trollindra, and I don't know why. I don't have my notebook.
Damn it. Alright,
I'm
should we
gonna
head there?
keep an eye out for
I mean, it's
anything
not far.
interesting that happens along the
Give me a
streets.
perception.
Me too.
All right.
Okay. Both of you give me perception. Oof. Run
If only
this
I had a
waste in
different-
those nat 20s, man.
Can I just use my passive instead?
No.
Can I have a perception with advantage?
No.
Okay.
So the two of you are keeping a pretty stern eye out, but nothing really much catches your eye. There's kind of a sleepy sort of activity about Norum. Plenty of people going to and from in the streets, usually sticking very close together and having quiet conversations as they're traveling between destinations. Cobblestone underneath you. The smell of a lived-in place kind of permeates through the air. Feels safe here. But at the same time, you know and acknowledge that you know that isn't the case. And how unwary these people seem to be really sinks in. After a short walk, you come to an area where the shops and stalls seem to have filtered away. You're beginning to see what look to be like civilian housing rather than simply businesses. And eventually, you see a door that is painted bright red. Like rainbow red. Like
Rainbow red.
obnoxious bright crimson.
Yes.
It really does stick out among rows and rows of mostly brown and white.
Well, I think this is it.
Go up
And it says Coca-Cola.
and I'm going to knock. We are not breaking in. We're going to knock.
My head's not going through the door
No,
again.
it's not. Shh, don't talk about that.
Not yet.
Don't say that out loud.
Hush. Hush. Wait. I had to burp. But no, it's done. You knock, and there's a little bit of a pause. Nothing.
Ding dong.
Well,
No.
get that head ready.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna knock again, but louder.
So you more rambunctiously wrap your knuckles against the brightly painted door, and you hear a voice from inside go, "Just a minute." You're out there for a minute, maybe 2 minutes, before a woman opens the door. And what you see is a half-elven woman
Oh no.
with blonde curly hair and very fair skin. Her eyelids are painted a very bright blue to accent these very vibrant green eyes that kind of inspect you. There's a little bit of age in her face. Like she's maybe starting to get up there, but with half elves, it's not always easy to tell. And with this very well fitting, lacy kind of dress going on. And she opens the door and tilts her head at you. I'm sorry, I don't believe we've met.
We haven't. I'm Leah. These are my group members. And I point to
Hiya.
each one of them saying their names.
I wave very awkwardly. I'm a little intimidated.
I
I
nod.
just smile.
Rose
Oh.
smiles. She's like, "Hello, it's a pleasure to meet you."
We were pointed in your direction. We're currently looking for a friend of ours that has been missing for a few days, and we think she might have come through the Lone Wolf when you were working.
Oh, what a dreadful thing to say. Oh, well, I do deeply apologize for the sudden disappearance of your companion, but I'm not sure what you think I know about it.
We just think she might have come through at some point in time, and you could give us a better description of who she was with. We were told she was with a man, and they left at some point in the middle of the night of where they were beforehand, and we think they might have ventured to your tavern at one point in time, because it is very close to where they were. So we were just wondering if we could ask you a few questions if you'd seen anyone. She's very easy to notice.
Kind of inspects you. Inspects each of you. Pauses at Fenrir and raises an eyebrow.
When she looks over Rose winks.
She kind of straightens up a little bit and kind of shimmies her shoulders slightly. Well, it's hardly a conversation to have outside, but I would ask that your canine companion remains here. They tend to travel in with the mutt. And, well, I just finished cleaning.
I tell Fenrir I'm sorry, but he cannot come in.
Gives you the saddest puppy look.
Poor pup.
I'm gonna pull out a treat from my pocket, from my little bag of dog treats that I have. I'm gonna give him one.
Can I?
Sniffs it and then
Can I have a dog treat?
he sniffs it before licking it and by proxy your hand,
It's fine.
and then a little less than gingerly pulls the treat from your fingers and goes to curl up again outside, gnawing on this
Poor baby.
piece of toughened meat.
Can I pet him on the pet finger on the head and say good doggo, good doggo?
You pat him and the ears go back briefly, and it surprises you, Rundus, but he does not growl.
Good doggo.
Rose just waves, goes, "We'll miss you, Wolf Wolf."
Start walking in if she's letting us in.
Yeah, she stands aside once Fenrir settled down.
I walk in far enough to where everyone else can get in, because I don't know where the heck she wants us to go.
Okay, so as you step in, you enter what is the most upper middle class of the middle class? Kind of bougie foyer. Like, there's a very nice rug on the floor. There are these very lavish looking decorations. You know that the city is divided into districts based on income, and at first glance, she looks like she does not belong here. As the dull squeaking noise comes from the next room.
It's Finnier biting his treat. It's just making squeaking noises.
Street, Jesus Christ.
She waves you inside, and she leads you into this sitting room with these, you know, those like high arched floral pattern couches.
Yes.
All the furniture is very similar to that.
Oh gosh.
She's got like a very high backed armchair, and what's the most terrible perhaps is that in her pursuit of seeming much more well off than she maybe perhaps truly is, none of the patterns match. The pattern on the wall does not match the pattern of one of the couches. One of the couches does not match the rest of the couches. It all just comes off as very gaudy and over embellished.
Fantastic.
She waves to this arrangement of couches in the sitting room before sitting in the high backed armchair herself and casually lifting her skirt slightly so that she can cross one leg over the other and then smoothing it out.
I'm going to sit as close to the edge of the couch as I can so that I don't have to be super close to anybody.
I sit right next to her.
And by the way, this place stinks of lavender.
Oh god.
Like almost everything has been soaked in it.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
I gag.
Oh.
Now then, what can I help you people with?
So you were working at Lone Wolf 4 nights ago?
Ah, yes, my lovely current occupation.
Did
Current occupation.
Well, one must have ambition in a place like this.
I just ignored Rundus and continue on. Did you happen to see a girl in a bright blue dress, rather fair skin, and red hair?
I can't say that I did. Well, that would depend entirely on the material of the dress in question, of course. So many tarts tend to wander in and out of the wolf. It's often hard to keep track of all of them.
I take my bag out and I pull out just a little piece of the dress to where none of the blood or cuts are showing, just like the fabric.
And she pulls the chain that's kind of dipped into her cleavage. She pulls it, and on the end is like the tiniest set of lenses. And she rests them on the tip of her nose and waves you over so that she can see.
I walk over and show it to her closer, still trying to keep it so that none of the blood or destroyed parts of the dresses are showing.
Kind of turns it over in her hand briefly. And goes, Well, it is very nicely made, I'll say that.
While I'm over there, I pull the pendant out and I'm like, she was also wearing something almost exactly like this.
And she kind of briefly takes it in her fingers. Like, oh, this is lovely. Well, she certainly had a wonderful taste in jewelry.
I'm gonna take it back and sit back down.
She holds onto it a little bit before you pull it out of her hand.
So did that help at all? Do you...
I've seen that necklace before.
Do you remember where?
It was dangling from a gentleman's pocket. I assumed it was a gift for a friend of his.
When did you see him?
Perhaps. Not last night, the night before. My last shift.
What did he look like?
Oh, well, he was a very, dapper young man.
Was he rather tall, kind of lanky?
I would not quite say lanky, but he was very tall and had the most wonderful blonde locks, if I do say so myself, though he does not hold a candle to myself.
I don't remember what color hair he has. I need to go get my notebook. Keep asking questions.
I'm just gonna eye dart the place, I'll eye around, like.
Give me
See
a
if there's
perception.
anything weird. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Goodbye.
Oh god, I don't know what to say.
If anything looks out of place, or I don't know.
I look at the lady and just kind of yell out, you got a very interesting taste in coloring.
Thank you, my dear. You know, not everyone shares my eye for the lavish and extravagant.
It really burns a hole in my eyes. I love it.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
You see a peculiar look? Kind of straightens up,
Rose just
pops out her
Rose
chest.
just kind of nods and she's like, I can't. It's like I can't help but agree with that sentiment in only the most positive way.
Wait, what did Flapper said? I cut out. My stuff cut out.
That her choice of color is burning his eyes out.
What did Flapper say?
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what
Yes.
Flopper said.
Oh.
I just agreed with them to be rude.
Just to be rude.
I go, this gentleman, was he with anybody else? By himself? Or, I don't know. What do you think?
From what I know, or what little I've seen of him, he does seem to come here. Come here to the wolf. Fairly often, usually in the company of a few other gentlemen. He always seems to have a story to tell, manages to gather a crowd.
How often does he come?
I can't bookkeeper. But the wolf is I suppose, a staple of his routine. Comes quite often.
Does he ever cause any... What?
I was asking if I cut out because no one was saying.
Oh, no.
No, I'm just listening.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's Rundus.
Has
is
he ever
getting
caused
very
any issues in the tavern?
No.
No?
Fine gentleman. Only the most polite when he comes in.
And he pays well?
Of course.
Does he have any other discernible features other than his hair?
What race he might be?
Handkerchief that he always has with him? Anything like that?
Well, any gentleman I assume would. I can't see. I've say I've seen a particular handkerchief. He just seems to carry one. As
What
all
color?
men should. It was a...
But not all men do.
What fabric?
I haven't inspected it myself, I can't tell you that, but I will say I believe it was white.
Did it have an emblem of any sort on it?
Perhaps I never looked closely enough. Rundus, did you roll that perception?
What perception?
Did you
Before?
want to look around the room?
Oh no, I didn't. You didn't. I think my stuff got out when you told me to do that. I'll do it right now.
Shit.
Dang it.
Beautiful.
There is an eclectic collection of different objects kind of pinned to the walls. And even as she's talking, you find yourself occasionally distracted by just the random shit it's like she nailed up there.
Can I insight check her about the handkerchief
Sure.
thing? I just want to know if she's lying about if she saw an emblem or not. Hello?
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 Hello.
I was like, hello. Did everyone die?
Yes. But I mean, that's just kind of general mood.
There you go, Bree.
Fuck.
I never like it when PM's Brie.
Is there anything else that you can remember about him? Something that you might not want to tell people? I just want to make sure we're getting all of the information we can. This has come to a very life or death situation from what we've currently found.
Looks at you a little bit more critically. But well, I am very sorry to hear that, but I don't believe there's anything else. His eyes are brown. Or at least I think they are.
These men he was usually with, how did they dress?
It would seem that he's the friends with all sorts, because there are days when they are just he, and then others would tend to look a bit more deplorable.
Have you ever heard what they're discussing?
It is my job to not eavesdrop on customers.
I think Rose goes, well, that doesn't mean you don't hear things on occasion. Sometimes it's hard not to hear men talk. They're always very loud, aren't they?
Kind of chuckles a bit. Well, I can give you that. What snippets I may have potentially overheard. It seems as if they're in the shipping business.
Oh, fucking course
The shipping business. Any idea what they've been shipping?
Oh, well, that I've no clue. You'd have to ask them yourself, but there are plenty of merchants that ship into and out of the city.
Has the pretty man come with any pretty girls?
On occasion, though he seems to go through them very quickly.
Does he look? What do the girls? How do they act?
Some
they
of
act
them
like they want
have
to be
been,
there?
some of them have been a bit starstruck with him, I suppose.
I just want to like look over at Rundus and give him a look of like she's not telling us something.
Intimidation check, do
What do
it.
I got here? What do I got? I have a +3 in acrobats. Can that do some? Can I?
Yep.
Can I?
Whatever you do, don't say it's your specialty.
I just. I'm gonna like look at her and like scoot so that I'm sitting on the edge of the couch, and I'm just gonna be like, "Is there anything at all that you aren't telling us? I feel like there just has to be like one snippet of information that could just help us a little bit more."
I am so sorry, darling, but it's not my business to know everyone else's. I wish you luck with finding your friend.
I'm gonna insight check. I want to see thumbs up.
Okay.
Oh,
It's your specialty!
She's not telling us something.
She
I
seems to
just
be
wanna
entirely
know.
forthcoming.
Can I try an insight check?
Sure.
Everyone do an insight check.
That's the last one. That's the last one.
Okay.
I kind of want to.
I tried my best, guys. I tried so hard.
Your companions, Bree, or Leah, rather, your companions seem to be very placated.
I'm gonna look at Leah. I'm going to like dart my head towards like the door to see like should I grab Fenrir?
No, I'm gonna shake my head. No,
No, just no, please.
don't bring in the dog.
Is
Can I
there
look around to see if
anything-
there's any symbols or anything that I recognize that
Roll a
could look
perception check.
anything like the stupid fucking syndicate symbol?
As you kind of take a glance around the room, there are several masks that are hanging up, though they seem to be extremely embellished, like half masks and masquerade masks. You don't see anything that directly resembles the syndicate's insignia.
Hey,
I'm
lady, do you
going
have
to-
in?
Sorry.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
no. Let Flapper speak.
I just want to walk outside and sit next to Fenrir. I'm angry. I like excuse myself politely, but like I'm outside now.
Okay. So Leah quietly excuses herself, and the woman watches her go before looking to the rest of you.
Lady, he comes a lot. Maybe you, do you know where he lives?
No, ask his. I'm not there. Fuck.
You're not there. Go away.
No, darling, I don't follow customers home.
Is there a certain time that he usually comes by, or certain days?
It depends day by day. I'm not even there every day. You could come there every night for all I know.
But he comes on your shifts, right?
Sometimes. There are days when I don't see him at all.
I just want to look at Fenrir and be like, yeah, you know, I hate when people don't understand what's going on.
I'm gonna.
try and pet him.
Roll animal handling.
Use the hand.
Yes!
We're so
As he's
bad at these.
still gnawing on the bit of treat, because he knows to make these things last. You kind of just reach out and just quietly pet along the back of his neck, and the ears twitch back briefly before relaxing and facing forward and beginning to rotate, checking every direction.
I'm just gonna be real sad outside.
Okay.
Seeing as you're a woman of good taste,
Oh boy.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
and I pull out the prompt of death. Maybe,
The paraft of death, you mean?
yeah, the prompt of death.
The prompt of death. What?
I thought he said pump of death. Like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna pump her until she tells us.
Oh my god!
No.
I think that makes something very different.
Alright, if that's about to happen, I'm gonna walk outside.
Not like that. No.
Yes, sir.
As I
Why is there so much sex in this campaign?
I don't know.
It's unintentional too.
I'm just scared to get laid.
Fucking accidental sex edit again.
No. Maybe there are a few things I can buy from you. You think that you can say that I can persuade you as I kind of swig it around, kind of shake it, I guess.
Like,
Shimmy,
blah, blah,
shimmy.
blah.
Don't forget to wink at her.
Oh, there are winks going.
Like every
Don't-
other second, just a wink, wink.
Yeah.
wink,
It looks like he's
wink,
having a
wink.
stroke.
Yeah, I was about to say.
You could roll persuasion.
Oh, can it be with advantage since I pulled out the drink?
No.
She's not drunk.
I think this stroke is disadvantage, so.
That's decent. That's
Okay.
It's not terrible.
Get in there.
She just kind of quirks a brow at you. She goes, I'm not quite sure what you're insinuating, my good man. I've told you everything that I know.
No, she hasn't.
Alright. I think Rundus is gonna get a little mad. I'm gonna put the bottle back in wherever it is, I guess, like in my bag.
Shove it up your bum.
Forgive me for what I'm about to do, break
Oh,
like out of
no.
character.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go to my side and unsheath my axe and
Oh,
say,
God.
"Are you sure you've told us everything?"
Oh, God.
I hop up looking really, really worried.
There's a
And I'm just
tiny
like,
dog barking outside.
Bend your nose.
Jada, honey, what's wrong? What's the problem? Come tell me.
She doesn't want us to attack her.
Hi, baby. It's okay. Sometimes mommy dies in the end. It happens.
Rundus, you might want to give Fenrir this speech.
You've drawn a weapon,
Yeah.
and she just kind of stands up very straight and like partially scoots back in her chair and is gripping the arm of the chair very tightly.
I kind of face Rundus. I'm like, whoa, whoa. It's alright. Calm down.
Calm down.
Calm down. Hey, calm down.
I'm
Well,
just gonna keep petting Finir.
She goes, "My
think
good man, I
Rose
am certain that you do not want to escalate things.
At this point,
You're
Rose
being
just
very good.
sighs.
It's a safe place, a safe neighborhood."
Rose
I
just sighs
can
heavily.
change that right now.
Like, I think that you need to calm down. It's
Oh,
clear
God.
this woman isn't nearly as knowledgeable as we thought she was.
Oh my God.
You know, a lot of times women like this, you think that they see a lot, they know a lot, they're quite intelligent, but clearly we are barking up the wrong tree.
I'm intimidating. Okay, I'm gonna intimidate her.
You can certainly try.
Dear Lord.
Hey!
Oh,
Oh.
shit.
It's one thing he can do.
The
Alright.
only good roll he's ever had.
Wow, I guess intimidation isn't your specialty.
Alright, another moment of truth.
Oh no.
What did she roll?
The secret. Oh no.
Fuck.
Pop.
Hi.
So what?
Are you okay?
I'm great. I'm fantastic.
This is gonna go so bad.
Please. She probably rolled a natural fucking 22. She just stares you down.
Fuck.
She just fucking stares you down.
No, she stands up very abruptly. She goes, "My good man, I invite you into my home and offer you my hospitality.
What did she
And this is how I'm rewarded."
Do I hear any of this?
You can hear her shrieking.
Hey,
God.
Pop.
God.
What did she roll?
Do you really want to know?
Yes.
Yes.
She rolled a nat 20.
God damn it.
What's her modifier?
You don't know.
Turn them to little one.
Hearing her shrieking, I'm just gonna like come in the door and like peek in. I'm not actually gonna like make. I just don't want anyone to see me. I just want to peek in and see what the fuck's
You
going
peek
on.
through the parlor into the sitting
Hey,
room.
Pop.
And you get
Can
the
I,
glint- One moment. You get the glint of brandished steel.
Oh fuck.
Yes, Rundus.
How many bits on Twitch does it take to get her disadvantage?
Bribing
I don't know,
the
man.
DM.
I don't know, man.
Just
Well,
keep
one way to
doing
find
it
out.
until she says you.
Yeah, just keep
Yeah, you might want to hurry up
Why
though,
not?
because
I don't have anything that will help.
you get so bad.
I don't know how to react to that. I guess I'm shocked.
Out! All of you! Out! Get out of my house!
Rose shakes her head and she's like, I told you. This woman isn't very intelligent.
Oh god.
You can shut your small mouth!
She smiles and she goes, make me.
Oh!
I'm just gonna turn back around and go pet Fenrir again.
Bye bye, nice lady. That went crazy.
I want all of you out of my house immediately!
I'm running through the house. Is there
Rose
like
is
any
going,
like?
"And I wanted
Wait,
to
wait,
see
Pop.
you
Wait, you're
fall."
sprinting through the house right now?
Wait, Pop. Are there like any other doors that don't go outside?
In this room?
Yeah.
Oh hell,
Or like an
not
upstairs, or like stairs or anything?
Not in this room.
Alright. I just run outside.
Okay. You run into the street, axe in hand.
I forgot about that.
Oh my god.
A few people hearing the shrieking have kind of stopped and are looking.
I cheat it real quick.
And a few
That's
of them
not
are just like,
suspicious.
they like one of the women like grabs the arm of like her husband or something and just like whispers something to him, and he kind of tries to very casually quick walk down the road somewhere.
Oh fuck. Do I see him doing that?
Out! All of you out!
nice lady. If we're leaving, can I at least say you have really bad taste in perfume?
Get out of my home immediately!
I like the colors though. It reminds me of a rainbow.
Get out!
It's a very dull rainbow.
She goes over to the fireplace and picks up the fire poker.
Oh,
and
I'm
then
right.
turns on the group of you.
Actually, I'm not because I ran
Roll
outside.
for initiative. All right, Garrick.
Out!
No,
She's
Garrick.
just pointing towards the door. Get out! Go! Shoo!
Make me. No.
You're already out.
I know.
You're already gone. Get out of there.
Make me.
I turn to her.
I already said make me. You can't steal that from me.
I kind of like plead to her. I'm like, Miss, please, I'm really, really sorry for my friends, but is there
Friends?
anything, shut up, you're not here. Is there anything else that you can tell us?
I want you out of my house, that's what I'll tell you!
Oh god.
Ungrateful little rats!
Oh.
Oh my god. Oh. Excuse you, miss.
Rose
look
raises
like a
an
rat.
eyebrow and she's like, well, At least I can count to 2 without help.
Oh my god.
What?
Just let out a loud sigh.
A couple moments passed of this tense exchange, and the gentleman is coming back with 2 guardsmen in tow.
God.
Oh, Jesus.
I run.
You run out the house.
Well, we don't know that the.
You guys
The
do not
guardsmen
know
are-
the guards are coming.
Okay.
Only-
I calmly
only
walk out
Leah.
of the house.
Yeah.
I just kind of look at Rosa and I'm like, maybe we should go.
First level or second level? Alright, throw the spells, fuck.
Are you kidding me?
Fucking damn it.
The one nat 20 I have rolled.
Yeah, that was
Nice
really
counter.
unfortunate.
And it's countered by another nat 20.
Fucking hell.
Oh my god, I'm stupid.
That's okay.
We knew that.
Wow. Toxic.
I'm very
Tax.
angry at myself right now. It's fine. I'm gonna go inside and pull whoever's in there out.
So the guards see you rushing back into the house.
Oh.
They're like, "Hey, hey, come back here!"
I stop and I turn around. Fucking Jesus.
Where do you think you're going, ma'am?
I'm trying to get my other party members out of the house of this woman
Step
because.
away from the property, please.
Okay, I'll walk away.
So is there just one guard?
There's
Or-
2.
There's 2
We can take them.
Stop.
in a city, potentially filled with guards.
No, it's just 2 guards in the entire city.
Look, for all we know, if we kill enough guards, we could just continue to level up.
Stop.
Or get arrested. Or killed. It's more likely.
One moment, please.
I'm so
Back
I need to
hurts.
use the bathroom.
Or are you going to the bathroom? Okay.
Yeah, so 5-minute break, real quick.
Oh, I gotta lay down. My back hurts. Lordy.
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
I'm
The
so
net-
mad at you.
Fucking hate you, Dino! God damn it!
Why? It could have worked!
See, I was just trying to insult her, and you're just like, I'm gonna pull my fucking axe
Hey
out.
guys, you know what Bree didn't realize?
What did Bree not realize?
She has the spell zone of truth.
Ah!
Bree!
Fucking hell.
Oh, my back hurts. I want some chicken tenders.
Bree, you are mentally disabled. That was your one mentally disabled moment.
I get a lot of those. I'm Gurg.
You're allowed to get those moments. Bree's character. How much intelligence does Bree's character have?
11? 11?
Okay.
11.
I mean, to be fair, mine's 9, so
12. 12.
it's only 3 higher than
Mine
me.
is
Oh my
14.
God. Dude. That's great. And I hope and you're still recording, so.
I am still recording.
I already have my plan for what I'm gonna do. I have no idea if it's gonna help anybody else, but I'm gonna try.
Spin me right round, baby, right round like a regular baby. Right round, right round.
Who knows what could have happened if she didn't counter my intimidation?
Yeah, who knows what would have happened if you would have never pulled out a fucking weapon?
I don't
I
know
was so
what.
ready to interrogate her too. I had everything planned.
Yeah, why don't we decide? Why don't we just push her down, cup her mouth, stop her from yelling,
Stop.
and just interrogate? Now, see, if I was my Sasuke cowboy character, I would have done that. Most knows what I mean. I
I'm
lo-
sorry, I totally zoned out, and then I just heard Mouse knows what I mean.
Oh, now I feel. now I feel.
Oh no.
Wait, what were you? What'd you say?
I said, if I was my Sasuke cowboy character,
Oh
just
yeah.
I would have just tied her up and then
God.
cuffed her
But
out.
still, I still can't get over that session because we started it. It was just Flappers and Kyo because like everybody couldn't be there, but it's fine. And you start out, and I'm just like, okay, you're in a town, and you hear somebody call out to you, hey, do you want work? And then Kyo just goes, okay, I throw down a smoke grenade.
What the fuck? Kill.
And then she's like, okay, I'm gonna try to sneak around behind this person. And I'm like, okay, so you're in the middle of a town, in the middle of broad daylight, and your smoke grenade doesn't reach this person, but okay. And she rolled like a 22. So I was like, okay, the Mr. Handy with like a -1 to dexterity manages to get behind this person in broad daylight, surrounded by people without being noticed.
Sweet.
And then she like put her blade to this person's back, and I'm just like, okay, so now you're standing here in the middle of town. People are pointing their guns at you, and
Even I pulled my gun out.
and I was just like, please, Kyo, you're going to die literally the first session.
Then like 2 minutes later, we're walking into this forest, searching for horses, and we find this house. Kyo finds this. She finds this latch or this hatch. She goes down the stairs, and I just lock her in there.
And then he didn't know what to do afterwards, so he's like, alright, I just sit in a chair. So like the whole time, Kyo's down there investigating. He's just sitting in a chair.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm still so mad that one nat 20.
I'm just mad at you.
Yeah, same.
You know what my favorite part of my Fallout D&D session though was when Kyo came back up, she refused to tell Flappers anything that she found because she was mad at being locked in there, and there were no lights down there. It was pitch black, and he doesn't have a flashlight or torch or anything, so he just crawled on his hands and knees down into the pitch blackness to investigate.
Still got no information. Nothing. Went back up, found some horses, ripped up my bedroll, and then got a bunch of nat 20s and caught myself a horse.
Yeah, he doesn't have a bedroll anymore.
God.
It was amusing. Are you trying to get her to bite my foot? Are you...
Hey, it might have been amusing, but I have a horse basically now.
I have to figure out how long it will take to train it, because it's like
The
a
unicorn
wild...
death horse.
It's a wild animal. Yeah, it's that too.
It bit half my arm off.
That sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, it was killing Flappers, and then Kyo's like, okay, I just sit here and watch. And the bush, and I hadn't seen her yet. And I was like, okay. Flappers is gonna die. What are you doing to the puppy?
Aren't you guys glad? Like, now we got the cops on us.
Yeah, it's gonna go
No,
great.
I have a plan for myself.
Oh, thanks.
Totally glad.
I'm too nice. I'm too innocent. They would never
I'm doing
suspect me. They'd be like, this kid's too dumb.
Do you have a weapon on your back?
I have a longsword and a shield.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna notice that.
Yeah, but I'm too innocent. I'm so stupid.
Oh my god.
You might get arrested because you're too stupid. They're like, we can't allow this guy to have a longsword.
We're all
I've
about
too-
to die.
Oh!
Okay.
I agree.
It just sat on my nuts.
Was
the
that
worst.
like a joyful moan or like a painful?
No, that was not a joyful.
I really love that all of this is going to be in the recording.
Yeah, it hurts me.
No.
On the carpet for a while. Did you take her out, or did you sit here and play with her? Like,
Oh, I forgot that was happening.
we'll pick her up.
Flappers.
The world will know. I Flapper Side. Saturday does not suck. At 6:40 p.m. PST Standard Time on October 2nd, 2017.
PST Standard Time. Yep.
Yep.
Rip in peace.
doubly make sure I know it's a standard time. Oh, shaders.
God, I can't believe we finally have D&D after so many weeks, and the first thing we managed to do is piss off our only source of information and then get the cards on it.
Well, let's be fair. Dino did all that himself. He's really an outstanding character.
I'm just waiting for the
You could say
reveal
that
where
my
Dino's
character
actually.
class is bad rolls.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm kind of hoping that you're gonna reveal that your character's actually Fenrir and Rundus is your pet.
Yeah.
Best plot twist.
Bum, bum, bum. I can't wait till Fenrir likes me more than one of the Rundus.
You mean
Everyone's got.
Everyone's trying to become friends with Fenrir.
I dare you roll animal handling with him.
I don't need to. He
We're gonna do that thing where we put him in the middle and he has to come to one of us. Dino's gonna roll in that one.
No, I'm gonna cheat by using a spell for him to come to me.
He's gonna use a spell, or he's gonna use one of his fucking lucks.
I forgot I had that!
God yeah, what are you gonna get better than a nat 20?
Maybe I could have lucked her to not use it.
That's
why
not
I
how
keep my
luck
s-
works.
I use anti-luck.
Actually,
No,
that is how luck
I was about to
works.
say, I
you
think
can,
it actually
you
does.
can use luck to make someone re-roll a roll.
Okay, yeah, that's
Oh,
Dino!
I didn't know that, okay? I
Everything's your
didn't know that. Oh, man, you can't.
yeah, you can.
No. You all have a right to be mad except for Bree. Bree had Zone of Truth, and she didn't do something with it.
This
She
is why
knew.
I have no fancy skills or anything that I have to keep aware of.
That's why I just have a sword and hit
But
people.
I don't want to use my spells.
No, you said you forgot about it. You
I
can't
did
use that
forget
excuse.
about it, but I don't want to use my spells because that one's a level 2 spell, and I only have 2 of those.
Yeah, and I forgot about how luck works, okay? But no.
Oh, I gotta
don't
sit
be
up
mad
now.
at Dinah.
Alright, let me just... I'm finishing assigning tokens.
Oh.
No!
Well, we don't know
Tokens?
that. We don't know it could be a fight token. It could just be like more,
Money. Tokens
kinda.
for a good job.
Yeah. Tokens for just exploring, You don't know.
Why can't I find my wolf token? God damn it, Fenrir.
Everyone's been giving Fenrir so much, like after Fenrir was a little wuss and cried like a baby.
Hey, I didn't give him
Like,
that. I patted him on the head and said, "Good boy,
Yeah.
good boy."
I
Yeah,
too. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
And everyone's like, and everyone's like, I'm gonna try and be his friend. I'm gonna make him like. And then you
Yeah.
all
I'm
just
not
talk
even
behind his
trying to be his
Well, no.
friend. I just wanted to pet him.
Dave's giving him shit. Cassian's just trying to friends with him.
back.
completely
Dave and
different.
Cassian are the same person.
No.
No, there is a distinct separation. Where is my wolf token? God damn it, it's gonna piss me
Give
off.
him like a duck or something.
I have a zombie dog, a spectral dog. I'll use a spectral dog.
There you go.
Motherfucker.
Why does my mom use the computer in the dark? Why does she turn the light off? That's so bad for your eyes.
Did you just call your mom your mommy?
No, I did not. Did I?
I think you did. I'm pretty sure you did.
Well, pick it up in the recording.
I'm 90% sure I didn't, and if I did, I must have did it on accident, 'cause I've been using that sarcastically all day.
Oh, goody. Sure, that's what you tell the fan base.
Our
Anybody who
fan-
watches this, it was totally on accident.
Wink.
Wink, wink,
Because
cock,
when you
cock.
say words on accident, that doesn't mean that it's part of your normal vocabulary.
I've never said mommy, I swear.
Oh, I'm sure you have.
Well, that was
the second time.
Too.
Anyway. Hi, hello. Welcome to my
Aw.
city maps.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
All right, I'm ready. Ready, we got the
This
guards
past
on
weekend
him.
I was very ill
Please.
and I did not have time to
All right,
go
now
get
that I
anybody.
know how luck works, I can just intimidate the guards and then use my luck to make them leave.
Who is this?
Me.
What token is this? I'm gonna poke it.
Who am I?
What
That
happened?
they're-
Guessing you're the one with the bow.
Yeah, that would make sense.
You spend me right round, baby.
I,
You guys should all be able to have control of your character.
I do.
I do.
Oh wait, we're on roll 20. Oh.
Why? What were you doing?
I totally wasn't taking a DMV practice
Here's-
test. Oh
Here's
my god.
Rose.
God damn it.
Here's Castian.
I thought
Hey.
me.
Here's Garrett. And there's Leah. And there's Randus.
Yeah,
Who's
it's your
Fenrir?
boy.
There's Fenrir.
Oh, that is Fenrir. Can I control him?
No, I can though.
Oh no.
Just tell me
No,
what you
you
want.
Second nerd. Wait, so where am I again?
You were on your way out the door.
Okay, I see where I am. Okay.
Yeah, the line is red because her door is red.
Haha.
So, we have not rolled for initiative yet.
Yeah,
So wait, am I still inside the
initiative
house?
is my
Yeah,
specialty.
you're right.
guys.
Yeah, you're
You
next to
say
me.
You're running out.
How do you ping?
You just
just click and
right
hold.
click. Yeah. Left click. Sides. Numbers.
God, you're lying to me.
Things.
And you can also draw like a smiley face.
So we're all rolling?
No.
Okay,
no,
mouse.
No. No.
I was gonna
You
say.
said roll initiative.
She said we're
We
not rolling
haven't yet.
initiative.
Oh, I
You
thought
just
you said
burnt the
roll
20!
initiative.
It's the only not 20, so we get all 9. Don't worry, boys and girls.
That wasn't a nat
I'm
20.
gonna
I
use
just
my
rolled
luck to
plus
make it
one.
not a.
No, that's
I'm
a nat
gonna
20.
use-
Yes, it wasn't at 20.
So it's
A
green.
green letter. Green means nat
Oh.
20.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Come here.
So,
I could never,
Is
Mom.
it- Hey, Pup, is it too late to use my luck?
Yeah, just a little bit.
You go back in there. One more thing.
and
Luck.
one more thing. Why do you assume you're the smartest in the room? I'm sorry.
All right, so we're not in combat right now, right?
Not right
Yeah.
now.
If we are,
This
I'm
is-
going for the lady.
Right. So I want to go ahead and leave the house now, and I'm going to. I would like to wink at the lady as I walk out the door.
God fucking
Okay.
damn it.
You have control of your character.
Hi guys. Hi.
As you push past Garrick.
She just
Yep.
like teleported in the house.
I just teleported. I had to walk over here just so I could wink, and then I just went through the wall. And then
You just
I
dove through a window.
No clip and just.
Okay, I see.
Stop.
Fenrir is.
to be fair, I am like really short, so it's probably pretty easy for me to like slip past him.
Yeah, but he's a big dwarf. Let's stop.
I'd probably rush after. Oh, what's
Especially
this?
outside, you all gathered.
I'm gonna move so that they can get out.
I kind of just
I
just
tell
walk
Fenrir
out
to block the
without
door.
like making any eye contact.
You tell Fenrir to block the door.
No.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No, we're
It's like,
locking her in. What you doing in
Actually,
there?
I
What you
mean,
doing in there?
Stop.
No.
No.
No. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's a bathroom. What you going in the bathroom for?
Oh my god.
How he has to go to the bathroom?
You just went outside. You don't need to go into my
Oh
bathroom.
my God. It's Mom Mouse.
What's up, baby?
Is
The
that
only child I ever want to have isn't the
You
Okay,
spin me
so-
right round, baby, right round like a record.
Would you stop chewing my chair? You have toys right here. There's
My-
one. There's one.
My dog broke my desk chair.
Oh.
What?
Shoot through one of the legs on my rolly chair, and like one day I sat in it not knowing, and it just snapped.
Oh.
That sucks.
Me
Yeah, you're telling me.
gently beating my dog with her toy. She completely ignores me and continues
Gently.
chewing on my chair. Go get
Oh,
it.
now Peter's gonna strike the video for animal abuse.
So let's
I said gently.
What's happening? We're all out of the house. Yay.
Yeah.
The closest guardman approached and Don stowed weapon. The other held out towards you.
Please
What
don't
seems to
pull
be
it.
the problem over here?
Can I roll persuasion?
No,
What are you gonna say?
I just feel like, officer, I have no idea who called you over here, but
that would be
nothing is
deception.
happening. We were just walking away.
Can I do it?
Oh no.
As she pushes her way out the door. Oh, finally someone with some sense here! These ruffians refuse to leave my home!
I was already
Rose
outside.
Rose looks at her and then looks at the guards and then looks at the ground and she's just like, did I not just walk through a door? I'm so confused. Where am I?
You teleported.
You stop chewing on my chair. You're gonna pull it down and I'm gonna suddenly like drop down a foot and it's gonna hurt. Stop it.
Oh, she's chewing on the lever? Mine was chewing
Yeah.
on, like, the wheel. The wheel.
She chews on everything, but the lever concerns me because I don't want her to pull it down.
She's teething, that's all.
I know, but you have toys over there. Go chew that.
Toy.
I let you rip up my sandal.
Also, hide every pair of socks you own. As
She
well
likes
as underwear.
sleeping in my piles of dirty clothes.
I'm just gonna casually walk down the street.
No.
But no, Rose just looks at the woman, then looks at the guard, looks at the ground, she's like, I could have sworn I just walked through your door. And then she goes,
After I demanded it! Repeatedly!
Rose
Sir, excuse me, come back here!
Rose just
Can I
raises
self?
her eyebrows and she's like, you're
You are in
You're
plain view.
Very clearly in plain freaking view.
Well, I can blend my wall. I'll just get some paint and just.
Rose turns to the guard and she's like, we were invited into this house and we have done absolutely nothing. When she asked us to leave, we were leaving. I can't help that she's so excitable.
Roll a deception check.
Deception. Where?
Oh, no. Oh.
Ow.
The guard looks at you with some vague suspicion and steps forward, like, ma'am, please.
Wait.
Take a breath. We'll handle this, alright? I certainly hope you will. She
Does she go
turns
the fuck
and-
back inside?
she kind of she goes back in. Where inside, you do not know. And she goes, clearly something not so particularly great was happening here. So if the group of you want to explain yourselves, you can either do it here and now or down in the barracks. Choice is
We were-
yours.
No.
We were looking for a nice lady.
Yeah, he's right. We're looking for a friend, and we heard that this woman might have some information for us, and she just got very excited when we asked questions, and some questions might not have been appropriate, and she got upset.
Rose just kind of leans towards the guard. She's like, between you and me, I'm not sure that woman in there is on the up and up. I think she's hiding something very serious.
We were just asking some questions. I felt like she wasn't exactly telling us everything she knew, and I got a little bit too aggressive in my questions.
Right. How about you do me a favor? The next time the lot of you decides to try and take justice into your own hands, you come to one of us rather than her home.
You got it.
Okie dokie, offer chokey.
Rose waves at the guards and starts to walk away. And as she does, she just kind of calls over. She's like, "Well, if you do your jobs properly this time, we won't have to investigate anymore." And she
One of the guardsmen kind of like tenses his jaw briefly.
she winks at him.
How about since you've so much to say, you can accompany us downtown?
She just
You
goes,
can
"Oh,
give
I'd
us a
rather
full
not. I'm
report."
quite busy today."
I truly think you don't have a choice in the matter.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
So I'm
Mouse.
going to use fog cloud.
So you were walking away a bit. So let's say you were about here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I use the fog cloud, which has a radius of 20 feet.
Smoke bomb.
I smoke bomb and I run away.
That's exactly what I'm about to do.
So you throw down smoke bomb. It would go from here, 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 here.
Are they gonna like chase us because of the snout?
I guess we'll see.
I feel like we should all agree on a direction.
Well, we won't really. We can't say
Well-
anything without the guards hearing and knowing. So otherwise, it would be metagaming.
We're not gonna be able to see where Mouse goes. So.
Yeah, Mouse is gonna fuck off.
This is about it.
Okay,
But
so
there's this eruption of mist and cloud from Rosaria herself. At which point the guards start shouting to one another as there's the sound of more feet approaching. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Fucking Mouse!
Looks like you gotta re-roll initiative, Mouse.
I still did pretty well.
Wait, am I supposed to
Damn
have
it.
a modifier for my initiative?
It's your dexterity modifier.
Okay, yeah, I have
What's
it right
mine?
then. Hi. Boop.
25. Yeah.
But a valid token wasn't selected.
What?
Ignore that. It's just a thing with Roll20 that I haven't
Do
figured
I
out
use
yet.
my luck or no? No, not today.
Yeah, sure, waste a luck point. Why not?
Today.
Actually,
Just-
can I ask you how much I rolled?
No.
And okay, do I just say I want them to re-roll or
Yeah.
something, and that
Yeah.
uses? I'll
how
have
about-
them re-roll. I'll have one of them re-roll.
They roll together.
Okay.
Am I Is the halfling small size?
I
Yes.
believe so.
3.
Wait, who was the person that was running away or like trying to walk away?
Rundus.
The token
Rundus.
with the bow and arrow. What size are you?
Medium.
Okay. Because I have halfling nimbleness, which means I can move the space of any creature that is a size larger.
Are you gonna like hide under my legs or something?
I'm just trying to run as far away from the guards as possible. I
Wow.
can get further that way. So,
I'm so mad that this is happening right now.
I had to make it interesting.
No, you didn't. You could have made it normal. I made it interesting, if anything.
You all suck.
This just made it a mess!
I'm never the person who does this. Fun.
I'm never the piece of shit stain.
I want to die.
Like, it's always somebody else that's like causing problems and getting us in fights, and I'm always the one like fixing problems. I had another campaign where a couple of other characters were like pulling off this heist that I technically didn't know about, but I suspected them, and I ended up having to put out a fire in the town square and talk to the guards. And
God, there's more cards.
Wait, there's more?
Well, she
Wait,
said there's footsteps. We heard footsteps coming towards us.
If my luck worked and made them roll with disadvantage.
No, it's
What?
not. That's not how it works. You force them to re-roll, and they take whatever the roll is, whether it's higher or lower.
Oh,
Which was a poor mistake on your part.
What?
All right, Dino. Let's go.
Their first roll was a 7.
I fucking hate you.
Oh,
What was this?
You know what, Dave? Dave.
Tilted.
higher, I assume.
I asked Pup, can I know what they rolled? And it's like, no. So I
No
just
shit, you can't know.
Yeah, so I just took a shot in the dark. So you can't complain about me taking a shot in the
With the
dark.
dice, you could have also re-rolled your own initiative, right?
Yeah, but
Huh?
what's better, re-rolling one person's initiative or re-rolling an entire group's?
One, because then the entire group doesn't fuck us over.
Ow. My foot.
What's the saying?
I...
All right, so what's their current initiative?
Higher than ours.
19.
Higher than everyone.
Fucking knew. Yep.
This one is going to take a shot at the last spot they saw the halfling.
Ow.
It will be with. Can you put Fog Cloud's card in the chat real quick?
Fog Cloud's card?
Yeah, just click
Yeah,
it
like-
on your spell sheet.
Yeah.
Right. God, where is that? Here.
Look, as Mel said, I gotta make it interesting. Okay.
You don't have the description.
I clicked it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
You don't have the description of the spell.
Oh, I can get it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, wait, no! Wait! Alexa! Start
No.
spells! She didn't listen to me. I have this app where she'll read the description of spells.
That's pretty cool.
Hang on.
Gosh dang it, Pup.
It's It's an instantaneous
Start
thing that's just like
I have it right here. You create a 20-foot radius sphere of fog centered on a point within range. The sphere spreads around corners, and its area is heavily obscured. It lasts for the duration or until a wind of moderate or greater speed, at least 10 miles per hour, disperses it.
duration. I think is 1 hour.
Jesus.
Concentration up to 1 hour.
Failed me for the last time, you damn robot.
The one time you asked.
Right? Every time I'm like, hey guys, check this out. She does it automatically. Now she's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
So... disadvantage.
Look, I just had
what
to
is
make
your
it
armor class,
interesting,
Mouse?
Okay?
It is 13.
13.
Higher than I thought it was.
same.
Wow, you guys have really low armor classes.
So that managed
Yeah,
to
it's almost
hit.
like leather users can't have plate armor.
Wait, is my armor class right?
Wait, did
I
that
hope
hit
it
me or
isn't.
not, Pup?
Mouse. You take 6 points of piercing damage as through blind luck, a bolt from a crossbow pierces through the fog and strikes you in the shoulder.
Rose says ow and refrains from saying anything else, even though she really, really wants
Ow. Shit.
to. Pretty much just like muttering under her breath, like, don't give away your position to these pieces of shit.
These guys are gonna move forward a bit.
I used to leak on the duck.
You spin me right round, baby, right round.
My armor class is wrong on this. I don't know what I'm doing. 15.
Oh, I can't believe you guys have such low armor. What was that, Brie?
My
I have
armor
wrong
class
AC.
was wrong. I had it
Yeah.
as lower than what it was supposed to be.
Oh,
This guy, let's see how lucky he is.
lucky you say.
Odd or even, Mouse?
Oh god.
Odd.
Shut the fuck up.
Wait, I'm gonna pull out my d20. I'm gonna let it decide.
Or just a coin.
No. This is D&D, what's wrong with you? Odd.
Odd?
Yeah.
Odd.
Odd.
What does that mean?
I think I just died.
As you
Nope.
take 26 necrotic damage.
You just fucking die. You just fucking die.
God,
He is
Rip
going
died.
he's gonna try and smack you with his pommel.
Camel.
pommel. What's your armor class again? 13?
13.
Oh boy. As he staggers through the fog cloud half blindly, he manages to nearly bump directly into you, at which point he takes the short sword and goes to strike down at your head with the pommel of it. In an attempt to knock you out.
Rude.
Rootin' tootin'. Scootin' dootin'.
And that is another 6 points of damage.
Does it
Getting
not
beat
come
down.
out, though?
No.
No, if she's not unconscious, then she's not.
Yay! Hey, Mouse, what's your health?
Rose,
Currently,
it's your
I'm at
turn. Rose, it's your turn.
No, I know. I'm gonna try to. Can I just? Oh no, that would give up. Oh, attack of opportunity. Oh, you butthole.
You chose odd.
That's rude.
Yeah,
The dice betrayed me.
My dice saved you betrayed me. If only I had believed in Rock Jesus.
Jesus fucking Christ. If only
Oh,
we hadn't upset the guards.
Well, he's not gonna kill me. He's just gonna throw me in jail and take my stuff. No, this will.
Totally supposed to be looking for someone right now.
You know what?
I know attacking him is gonna be pretty useless.
I mean, you can.
Honestly. So I'm trying to see if there's anything else I can do, but I can't think of anything. I'm not that intelligent.
You can hold your reaction.
Can I just say something?
Is he still just holding his sword out at me?
He pulled back the pommel and he's kind of readied himself. In case
Can he see me though? He just kind of has a vague idea where I am.
Since he's so in such close proximity to you, there's a certain break in the fog that he does have an eye on you currently.
Which means I have an eye on him.
Yes.
Oh god. Not gonna work. Can I try casting Charm Person on him?
Yes, please.
What's your spell save? DC.
Oh my god. Look at it. 12.
Should sound 12.
He has to make a wisdom saving throw.
It's me, not 20.
And it lasts for 1 hour. If it works.
Mouse, I'm so upset for you.
God damn it! I tried so hard.
When you try your best, but you don't.
Wait. Can I look?
You can't see him.
Okay.
Burn all your looks.
There's a 13 on the die.
Oh my god, you piece of shit.
I'm so upset for you.
I was so close.
You were really close. So you kind of turn and really hastily mutter out this incantation while trying to maintain eye contact with him. And there's this brief moment where you think it's starting to take hold, and he just kind of shakes his head really determinedly and adjusts the grip on his sword.
She just looks him in the eye and goes, rude.
Oh my god.
Leah?
Oh shit, it's my turn? Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
I did not. I thought I was drawing on the map for a second. Fuck it.
You can't be mad at me, Brie. I just want to say.
I'm already mad at you, said I.
We'll deal with this.
You know
after.
what? Can we just pause here? I just want to say this is the month break. No, I think this is
I want some chicken tendies.
Jesus Christ.
I am going to walk up this fucker.
You
And
do not really know. It's heavily obscured.
I'm
you can
going
hear-
to walk
you can-
blindly this way. This direction.
Roll a d20.
Roll. I walked away. I heard her say rude. 20. Please, 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 please.
Not one.
You end up here instead. You know there's somewhere around here, and you can kind of vaguely make out the outline of someone right here. There's someone here.
Okay.
That's all you really can tell.
I'm still gonna do this. I'm gonna cast fucking mirror image.
Uh-huh.
And I mean they just appear on my space.
Uh-huh.
Chicken tendies.
Are you chewing on the carpet?
On my turn, I just get some chicken tendies.
I hate you.
Go to the nearest McDonald's.
I
Yeah.
want some potato wedges.
Can they-
I mean, it's been 4 years since they had the chicken tendies out.
I can't attack with them, can I?
Mm-mm.
No, you can't. They're just
Barely.
chicken.
They're just chicken.
Oh, there's so many guards.
Yeah, that's fuck it. That's yeah.
That's your action.
Yep.
What are you doing now?
As a bonus action, I'm going to yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. That's what I want to do. I'm done.
Okay.
I just didn't want this to happen in the first place.
Run your turn.
Alright.
You don't really know what's happening. You just were trying to run away. A guard stopped you, and you stopped in your tracks. And now there's just billowing smoke all
Alright,
around
I
you.
got.
white
What do I
smoke.
got? I'm level 4, so. Are any of them elves?
You don't know.
Oh my god.
You would have to concentrate to figure that out.
Alright, well, I don't have multi attack because. Tenure.
5.
Where's my shiz? Should all be here. No? Did it, like, not save?
Rip.
Oh my god, I swear I'll fucking kill you.
Shut up, Bray.
Robo
Data is in the simple version. Re-enabled. Go to settings. Sorry. I want to make sure I have everything. Nice. Wait.
Waiting.
I'm really sorry. I'm trying to fix this.
It's all good,
Accept-
bruh.
You know, I'll just shoot him with a bow and arrow.
Who are you shooting?
That one.
Who are you shooting? That's
You're
me.
shooting them? Okay. Go ahead and roll attack.
You're
with
shooting.
Wait, is that really?
That's me.
I don't know that. Okay.
Just kind of. There's a roll an attack with disadvantage.
Thankfully,
Alright,
it's not
bow and arrow.
actually me.
Oh.
What is that? D20 KL1 plus 3.
Well, normally it's like keep H is keep highest, so I thought keep L was keep lowest.
No.
Like watch, like.
Just click on your longbow on your character sheet.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. All right, bam.
So 10. What is
hit.
your dexterity modifier? Yeah.
My dex modifier that doesn't even hit me.
What is your dex modifier? Okay. So an 11, which means hmm.
Spaghettios.
Roll a d20, Leah. Mm-hmm. I don't even know how this is possible.
Oh my god. What happened?
No.
He clicked on a duplicate in the first place because I'm this one.
Mm-hmm.
No, I clicked on that
Wait.
one.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't pick which one you are.
No, it kind of
You-
scrambles.
Yeah, you rolled to see if it hits one of them or you,
Yeah.
and it had to be above a 6.
And it was you. But it didn't hit your armor class. So an arrow kind of skids off a little bit. Just like there's an arrow, someone's shooting you. Rundus, your attack seems to have no effect.
I'll shoot him again.
You can't even hit your own teammates right.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. Go ahead and roll a d20 again, Leah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Funny. I fucking hate you.
What's your armor class, Leah?
15 because I didn't take my shield out.
Well,
Go ahead and roll damage, Dino.
Oh my god.
Leah, you take a shot to the back of the shoulder. As an arrow sinks deep into you. You take 5.
wait, can Rundus even see what he's shooting at?
Nope.
No,
No.
he's just
Yeah.
shooting blindly in
So
the
he's
night.
just
He knows there's someone there, he doesn't know who.
this fucking old man.
Yeah, Bree, it's called being in character. Maybe you should do that sometime.
I would still be angry that someone in the general direction that I saw you run shot a fucking arrow at me.
Yeah, but you can't be mad because I didn't know it was you.
So Leah, you've taken 5 points of
Yeah,
Damage.
I marked it. We're good.
Alright, are you gonna move at all, Rundus, or are you good where you are?
Fucking kill the Aftermath.
I can move 30 feet.
Mhm.
Let me get a good view. You know what I
Looks
kind of
ex-
want to do? Actually, shoot, I don't have multi-attack.
Well,
I completely forgot. Well,
what's done
that's
is
just
done.
one time. That's just a one-time thing.
Yeah.
So,
I'll just run over
Pretty much.
here, ease up 25 speed, and that's it.
Alright.
I'm so
Cassie-
angry.
Castian,
Alright,
you can't
I-
see an inch in front of your face.
awesome. I
have no idea what the fuck is
I cast sleep where I saw them before it went all poof. Like right in between both of them.
happening. Can you give me Sleep's card real quick?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yay.
Okay, so go ahead and roll 5d8.
There's all my stuff. I fixed it.
30.
Okay, don't bite my ankle. Yeah.
Sorry.
What's your current hit points, Garrick? Rundus,
My hit point.
Rose. Yeah.
My current hit
15.
points are 35.
Okay.
Did you just say
From right,
15?
you cast it
Yeah.
like right here, right?
Yeah.
So from here. Oh, Leah, you too.
What's my current hit points?
Castian, you too.
33.
No, expected to be that far.
20 feet, man.
28.
33.
Oh god, dang it!
Rose, you're at 15.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Did the game just knock me out? Oh my god.
And the
So
rest
I
isn't,
made
the rest isn't enough to knock
God
out
damn it.
them.
He literally only knocked out Mouse.
Good.
Oh,
There's like a noxious kind of fume that permeates into your nose, Rose. And as you kind of instinctively try and push it, whatever this is, away, just feel yourself get sleepy. Oh, man. And you just pass out floor. Which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, dissipates the fog cloud.
It's concentration.
Yeah.
Shit.
God damn it!
Can we restart the session? Do we have save points? Is there checkpoints in this? Is this like it's like Skyrim, right?
Yep.
yeah. I want to go back to the save file now.
Rundis, you see there's an arrow sticking out of the back of Leah's shoulder.
Oh, can I add insult to injury, pup?
Sure.
She is technically my favorite enemy, so she gets +2 more damage.
I don't think we should count that because he doesn't have multi-attack.
Yeah, we'll leave it as
That's-
just the
Yeah, just the intentional. Next time it will be technically it's +4 because of my fighting style. +2 bonus attack.
Well, maybe
Two
you should
range
fucking
weapons.
attack
Oh,
your
now
gang
you know your
members.
stuff.
Yeah.
So Rosora is unconscious on the floor, and the guardsmen both look pretty
They
startled.
they knocked her out. We gotta revenge her.
Yeah.
1, 3. Okay.
She seems to be just. She doesn't seem to be gravely wounded,
just
but
sleep.
the guardsman just kind of. He leans down and goes to scoop up Rose and like sling her over his shoulder.
I realized what I did. I just back up against the wall.
Take me away, officer.
So they're only going.
No,
for
my
Rose,
back's
right?
just to the wall. I'm
No,
like,
yeah, they don't care about any of you. It was just me because I yelled insults at them.
Can I want to drop the fucking illusions.
Okay.
Keep them up.
We are not fighting any more people.
Oh, we're not.
Especially 'cause
gonna
there's
fight
3 more
'em.
coming.
I'm gonna try and get past them. I'm actually not gonna do this since this is metagaming. I'm gonna go past them and break into her house.
Ow,
Round
bitch.
2.
He looks at the group of you, little defensive, but seems content to end the matter with her.
Oops.
Right. Well, after we've had a talk with your friend, you can come and pick her up in the Golden District.
How do we even get in there? Don't we need a pass or something? There's a gate.
He kind of looks over to his supposed partner. He walks up and pulls a it's like a gold wreath of leaves that comes almost in an eye shape, and at the center of it is a silver sword, and it's embossed into leather.
Okay.
You can show this to the guards at the gate tomorrow. 24 hours.
24
You can come back
hours.
for your friend.
Do I see any physical damage on her? Like, does she have a bump where they hit her or anything?
She's got a little bit of a welt, and there actually is a crossbow bolt in like right above her clavicle.
I walk up and I don't touch her. I just walk up. Can I heal her at least first so she's not in danger or injured anymore?
We have medics on site.
Okay.
Don't take the nice lady away. She has a problem with farting.
She has a problem with farting.
As he kind of looks the rest of you, nods, and begins walking down the street with Rose.
Can I just say, Pup, I was hoping this was your pass, and he pulls out like a pair of hands. Tim, there you go.
That would have been amazing.
Motherfucker.
Hey, at least I'm safe now.
Same.
I'm so mad. What
Are
time
you
is
guys
it?
gonna follow, or
I mean, he said 24 hours. We can't even follow them.
I've been abandoned.
Bye, buddy.
I mean,
How's your dad?
to be honest, you did fog cloud to save yourself, so.
Yeah. Fuck you.
You didn't know that.
So we have 24 hours. What time of day is it?
It's late afternoon. It's getting towards night now.
Alright.
Oh,
Towards
jeez.
night? I.
I'm sorry, Mouse.
Don't be sorry. It's D&D.
About maybe
Hilarious.
45 seconds later,
What?
Rose, you rouse and you're moving. Where are you?
Oh no.
Oh no!
What's going on? And as you as you open your eyes, you see you're staring up directly at the sky as it's darkening slowly towards night. And the first stars are moving. Then you look and your wrists feel really heavy. How do your wrists? Oh, those are chains. Those are manacles.
Quick question. I was
Yeah.
wearing a red scarf. Do I still have that scarf?
Yes.
Okay.
For now.
But all your
I want to
familiar
hang
pockets,
myself. I'm taking myself before they take me.
familiar weapons that you might have had stashed onto your body seem to be gone. And you are being held rather firmly by the upper arms. Between two guardsmen, your feet are off the floor. And your head was kind of lolled back.
Damn it. I'm just gonna hide.
And you're just being almost paraded through the city. And none of your friends or supposed allies are anywhere in sight.
And she just.
She's
I think
just
Rose is-
dying.
I think at this point, Rose just kind of goes, "Don't get my scarf dirty."
He kind of looks at you and chuckles. Like, yeah, I'll take note of that.
Like, it's very important to me.
I'm sure, ma'am.
Oh my god.
She goes, I have this loot. You can take the loot. I don't care about the loot. It was my grandmother's. Doesn't matter. But the
Gives you a
scarf.
very strange look.
The scarf is very important.
Yes, right. And you watch as I'll explain this to Mouse. You watch as you approach the wall that separates the Silver District from the Gold District. And there are several guards kind of standing there, some with javelins, others with blades. And they see the group of them approaching and just kind of step aside. And the gate, the portcullis, like heaves itself upward, and it's like stepping into a whole different city. The streets are almost polished, and every building is prim and proper and not gaudily decorated, but just hinted just enough with tones of gold or red or purple to give it this sense of regality. And people who see you kind of gasp a little bit and clear the way for the guardsmen. People dressed infinitely better than anyone else you've seen before in the city. And they walk you along the main road towards the upper corner of the Gold District. And you can see the high walls of the barracks. Each wall lined with long, jagged spikes that kind of spiral upward to discourage those who might want to slip over. You are brought in. And this is a place that the elegance of the Gold District has not touched. There are little bits of stray hay and mud kind of flecked against cobblestone. The buildings look a little more worn, less ornamental, more functional. You are taken directly to the largest of these buildings, past another gate, and then down below the city. You are brought to a single cell with not more than a very scant kind of bedroll that doesn't look extremely comfortable, and a bed pad.
Did they
Um,
find, because they took my weapons, did they find my thieves' tools?
You don't know. You haven't exactly had a chance to feel yourself over.
That's fair.
Chihuahua.
Flappers now.
As as they open the gate, they start removing the rest of your equipment, like the backpack and what equipment you do have, including the loot.
She just goes, not the scarf.
He goes, since you seem to think it's so important, we'll keep it nice and safe for you.
She glares at him and she's like, what do you think I'm going to do with the scarf?
Better safe than sorry with your type.
She laughs and is like, she's just gonna laugh. She's like, what is that motto that guards like to have? Serve and protect. Grand job. Wonderful, truly.
He pulls the scarf a little harshly from around your neck.
Oh.
She just keeps glaring at him.
He folds it as the other two guards hold you up, and then lifts up the edge of his jacket and flips it inside.
If I don't get that back in pristine condition, I will be speaking with my lawyer.
Right. Then you're very unceremoniously tossed into the cell.
Okay, so, did they remove the chains? Sorry.
No.
No? Okay. Whenever they disappear, she does the best she can to see if she has anything on her.
Roll investigation.
Oh, right. Roll 20. I keep reaching for my dice. Investigations over here.
Oof.
Do you want luck?
You can't
You
see
can't
her.
help.
For sure.
Do you guys see me spinning? Because I'm spinning.
No, you're not moving.
You're spinning.
You'll see in the recording.
You try to give yourself a pat down as much as you can. It seems a lot of your stuff is gone.
She's very unhappy.
Yeah.
Can I just go ahead and, I guess, look around the cell, investigate that?
It's not much. There are a few notches in the wall.
Can I go up to the bars and just be like, and be like, please don't spit in the food.
Back to the rest of the group. You guys watched Rose get dragged down the block.
Whew. That could have got a lot worse.
Garrick is crying.
Aww.
Suck it
Uh.
up.
Oh my god.
I want the nice flower named Ladybug.
I refuse to believe that he does not know what rose is.
Young Slim just isn't that.
Yeah, it does.
He said it was a flower.
Yeah. Flower lady.
Close enough.
What would Leah be to him?
Beating the shit out of you. Sorry. No.
Lady.
I walk up to Garrick, put my hand on his shoulder. It's alright, buddy. We'll get her back. It's a little bit of a hiccup, but now at least we have a way into the gold district.
Yeah.
That'll help.
Hey, pup.
Hmm?
Does cure wounds help with a mental wound? Hey,
No.
it's the joke. That's what we call a joke.
I'm going to reach back and take the arrow out of my shoulder and throw it at Rundus.
I catch it.
Make a dex check.
And
Cuts
impales him in the
himself.
chest.
Yes! Damn it!
Damn it.
Yeah, you catch it easy.
I'm angry.
I wink at Leah.
She just sighs.
She's so tired.
So done.
She has had a day.
I look around at them. I'm like, do you guys want to, even though we're down a person, continue investigating, or
You do have.
I kind of want to stake out either the Gilded Cage or the Lone Wolf. Probably the Lone Wolf more than the other, honestly. I
If you
want
do
Sunflower
remember
back.
what she said, they were in the shipping business. So if they're
Yeah,
docks,
I think we know. Don't think it's that kind of shipping.
I don't think it's that kind either.
Are they shipping with alcohol like that?
No, they're not. I'm
Not
sorry.
quite.
what I'm saying is, if there are docks, probably go there.
I mean, it's really close to night. But I kind of want to stake out the Lone Wolf because he's there at night.
Does the lone this is
Do that, I can go to the docks.
And we are not splitting the party this fucking early.
I mean,
What do you mean this early?
I mean, we're already pretty split, so what's the little more?
Fine.
Right, pup? Right, pup?
Whatever.
Pops is like, okay, I'm running 3 games now.
Alright, if everyone takes a different alley.
We'll find him eventually, right?
all right. So Bree will be on Monday. Dave will be on Tuesday.
Yeah.
God fucking damn it.
as long as I'm with the puppy, I don't care.
Jesus fucking
Then you're going
This
with
is a-
Fenrir.
This
Or
is
you're
a side question. Does the lone wolf is it also like kind of like an inn?
I mean, there's maybe rooms. You didn't ask.
I should have
It's
asked
multiple
that.
floors.
Usually if there's
Probably.
multiple floors, there's rooms. But that could also be rooms for anyone that owns it.
I won't say anything. I can't. I am stupid character.
Oh, say it.
You could just stay the night there and stay there until we find the dude. Comes there eventually.
It's
Or
also
go to
a
the nearest inn.
choice.
But you have to say it in your dumb voice.
Oh.
Oh my god. No, he
See, that's why-
doesn't.
It's in character, Bree. Of course he does. I'm sorry.
What?
So
What are we
I'll
doing?
go. I'll investigate the docks. You
I
investigate
don't
the
even know
lone.
if there are docks.
Is it a landlocked city?
Yeah, technically. I mean, you can look on the map. It's in the messages.
And there are no docks.
I don't believe it's a landlocked city.
Is it? No, it's pretty close. It's pretty close to
It's
water.
it's up against the water. It's
Gotcha.
just hard to precisely place a dot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I got you.
Generally, if it's super close to water, it probably has a port that's nearby or part of the city.
And that is where I'm going.
As long as I'm with the dog.
Then you're coming with me.
Okay.
So Fenrir and Garrick and Rundus, I guess, are going towards the dock.
It's like I'm the
Are-
last person to go.
What are Leah and Castian doing?
I try to stop them. I go,
What do you say?
guys, this probably isn't the best idea. We know they don't mean that kind of shipping, so why are you gonna do that?
I don't
It's
care,
probably
I
it's
see
probably
Dago.
best that we go somewhere that we actually know he might be, and check it out there. So we should probably go to the Lone
We
Wolf.
could
Be
go.
nice.
We could go round 2 with the lady as I slowly walk up to the door.
No. I run up and I block him. You need to not go anywhere near this door. Get out. No.
And maybe we should get away from her house before she
Yeah,
calls some more
probably.
guards.
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 Guards! I'm hard.
Now that I think about it,
Oh my gosh.
why didn't the blacksmith question the guards?
He tried. Wait! He has a buddy. Isn't his buddy a guard?
His buddy's in the gold district.
Someone's furiously flipping through papers. Does he really have a friend?
I don't have any notes about a friend of his.
Yeah, he had a friend that was looking for her.
Pup's just
I
gonna
want to
throw
say
a
he was a
Deshaun
guard, but I
twist.
can't quite remember.
You guys are about as good as mine. I got a memory of a twig. In real life and in character.
I didn't
He
write.
was indeed a member of the guard.
He what?
What?
He was a member of the guard.
Indeed a member of the guard.
Shit, we could use that. How far are we from the blacksmith?
The lone wolf isn't far from Smitty.
Look, blacksmith got a buddy. He's a guard. We should probably see if he can
Ask what it
help us out a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
So, you guys want to go back to the blacksmith and
As long as I'm your Finir.
see if he wants to help us, help him, help us?
Help him, help. Sure, let's go.
Why not?
Okay.
Oh my fucking
All right, let's do it.
Yes.
Let's try not to mention anything about the bloody dress. It's probably
Oh yeah, no, we're not. We're hot on the trail, but not quite there yet. Full tell.
As I look at Flapper's character, like, mention nothing.
Just smile and nod.
Well, when I get there, I want to tell Garuk to just stay outside with Finir and keep him company so that he doesn't get lonely.
Dago!
That was my idea, Brie.
It's perfect. It worked.
That was a great idea, Brie. Good job.
Good job, Brie, for your original idea.
I mean, you didn't say your idea out loud. I said it first, so it was actually original.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but I thought it first, so...
All right, we're heading to the blacksmith. All right.
No, we're continuing this argument.
No.
Nope.
We're continuing this argument. Fuck you.
This out of
I
character
want
fucking
chicken
argument.
tendies!
Yeah, we're gonna start walking towards the blacksmith. At least I am. I don't fucking give a fuck if they are.
Yeah, I'm already heading there.
You guys are running, not running, but making.
I'm gonna go, like, an
Huh?
Naruto run.
Yes.
Hey, Pup.
Yes.
I'm gonna go, like, a longer route, like, maybe, like, go down some alleys or something, see if anything suspicious is going on.
Go to where?
Okay.
Like, a longer path down to the blacksmith.
Right. You can take some side streets rather than sticking to the main roads. That'll
Yeah.
blinding. Make an investigation check.
Oh shit.
So, as you are maneuvering through the alleys with Fenrir close behind you, you just kind of keep your eye out. And There are some individuals who look a little worn, a little bit tired. It is coming close to night now, as people are pushing into their homes and not quite averting eye contact, just kind of ready to be home. At one point, you do kind of see an individual that just looks a tad bit suspicious. It could just be paranoia, but he kind of sees you at the other end of the alley as you're moving to go towards it. He looks up, sees you, and turns away. Starts walking.
I'm gonna follow him.
So, are you running, or are you just casually walking to the other end of the alley?
Just casually walking.
Okay. What is your passive perception?
I believe it's 13. What would it be? It was 14. There it is.
You reach the end of the alley, and as you turn to look in the direction that he moved, it's gone.
The alley is gone?
No, the figure. It just
Alley.
closes up. The two buildings just squish right behind you
Like Harry Potter.
I
and
didn't mean to
crush
do
Fenrir
that.
to death.
It crushes the man to death.
How do
Oh, there goes my one. Suspicious.
No, the figure is gone.
I want to see what's. I'm gonna walk down that alley.
You just walked that alley to get to where he disappeared to.
Oh. Oh, okay. I want to
Starts
see if
pacing.
there's any. Yeah, like I want to see if anything's up. Like, how could a man just walk through the wall?
He's old. He got lost.
He was at the other end of the alley, like the mouth of it.
Oh, okay. So it's like a. It's not like a alley into just like a wall. It's like a two-way alley.
It's just
All right. I'm gonna. So I don't see him.
no.
What what directions can I go in? Can I go like?
There's a side street up ahead that you can go down, or you can go along the main street that you're currently sitting at the mouth of. That goes to the
I'm
left.
gonna go down the side alley or the side street.
So you're gonna cut across the alley and cut across the street rather, and go down the side.
Yeah.
Continue on your way. You should probably turn to head towards the blacksmith now if you wanted to end up there. You're starting to kind of traipse away from that path.
I'm gonna keep walking down.
I go with the.
What?
It was Dino the whole time.
Castian, Garrick, and Leah.
Oh my God, Pup, why?
What?
I don't know. It's just whenever something intense happens, I'm not. Just the suspense taken away. Or
Nope.
pause, I should say.
Don't worry,
Alright.
I'm sure you're perfectly fine.
Oh, God.
I do have Fenrir.
Yeah. Three of you arrive, and the blacksmith is still glowing dimly from the inside. Still these faint plumes of black smoke. As you're walking up, you see Yorin wiping sweat off his brow as he's coming out of the building and closing it behind him tightly before finagling with some keys.
Kind of glance at Leah. See if she's gonna say anything, or I should say anything, or.
Leah just kind of
Flapper
gets a
should say
panicked
anything.
look on her face because.
Alright, so I go up to Yorn.
As he hears footsteps, he's like, "Sorry, we're closed for the night. Please come back tomorrow morning."
Hi, Yorn. So, about your sister.
Oh God. Oh God.
So
Yeah.
we're still investigating. We're making some leads, but it's still a little up in the air. But somebody that was helping us out got a little
In trouble.
into some trouble. And she got arrested. And I remember you said you had a buddy that was a guard, so in order to help us move along, we kind of need to get her back. So I'd love to name drop your little buddy. If you'd give him his name and maybe what he looks like, and maybe just something to help us out with, getting our little friend back.
Emphasis
That'd be
on little.
great.
Sorry, my bad.
Well, just told me.
He has gone through a whole face journey as you were talking. like when he initially saw you, he immediately like straightens up and like tries to look a little bit more like official and like stick with his chest out a little bit.
No.
You say, "Well, we haven't found anything," and he kind of slums a little bit and goes back to wiping his forehead. And you mentioned the guards and someone getting arrested. And he's just like, "Oh God, what have I gotten myself into?"
Was the necklace broken?
No.
Hmm.
He takes a moment and swipes a hand over his face, pauses at his eyes to make sure they're wiped before kind of brushing under his nose. Well, that's a lot of news at once.
Yeah. But it's progress.
Sure, progress.
I mean, heck.
Haven't found anything.
Does he look like excessively distressed?
He looks excessively depressed.
Hey.
I want to like discreetly reach into my bag, grab the necklace, and just walk up behind Caston. And like not behind him, next to him. And just say that we did find this. I feel like I'm gonna regret this.
Oh no.
Yeah, probably.
Don't do it. Save, quick save, quick save.
I can't. It's too late. I'm gonna hand it to him.
You reach out with the necklace and give it to him, and at first he just kind of stands there, half staring at you, half staring at it. And he is a pretty burly guy, but his presence feels really small right now.
Fuck!
Damn it.
Bray, how could you do that?
He kind of half reaches out and hesitates. And when he does reach out to take it from you, it's similar to a giant handling the egg of a bird.
Oh my god.
Just he can't quite wrap his hands fully around it. It rests limply in his fingers as the chain hangs and dangles loose.
Angles.
Just like seeing his reaction, Leah starts like. TBH, she'd start crying. Leah's fucking crying. She's crying.
Pulls it from your grip and the hand that's not holding it just kind of like very very delicately brushes over the embellishments. I'm sorry. I need a moment.
Oh my god, Bray, how could you?
I'm sorry.
He kind of half turns away from you guys and almost like furiously starts sniffling like he's trying to hold back Wave of emotion.
Oh, this one. Fuck.
I step up next to him. I go, look, I know this seems pretty dark, and like there's not much hope right now, but she's still alive. I know it. And we have an idea of who might have her, and we have to do.
Why'd you say have her?
Hold
Huh?
on, I'm not done.
What happened?
And we want to be able to move quickly. So if you can help us, we'll be able to get to her as soon as possible and bring her back to you.
His voice kind of quakes. Virgil, my buddies. My buddy's name is Virgil. If you'd excuse me, I'd like to go home.
Oh my god.
Please.
Just let him go.
If just briefest description, then I'll let you go home. And when we see you again, bring you good news.
You're making a pretty big promise, Dave. I hope
She's
you
gonna be
understand.
dead now.
Swear to God, if she's dead, I'm leaving. I'm not even going back. I'm fucking leaving.
He's got coarse hair and dark skin. Listen, I'm really sorry, but I gotta get home.
Okay. Thank you. We'll see you soon.
He still hasn't put it away. Cradled against his chest.
At least you didn't give him the bloody dress.
Yeah, no, I made sure not to give him that. Yeah, here's your sister's dress. It's all torn and bloody. Hope you don't fucking mind.
Yeah, she's probably dead. Alright, where's our gold?
He turns and he was tired before. He's now nearly dragging himself down the street.
Oh my god. Why?
And where the fuck is Rundus?
Runda.
Damn it.
Rundus.
Pup games.
You have
Game.
made your way to the edge of the city.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Where the Silver District breaks down, partially melds with a bit of the copper, and you can see these rundown lean-to homes, a few shadows that kind of dart away into them. But beyond that, you see, just down a small slope, you see what looks to be a long abandoned structure built on the edge of the water.
This looks highly suspicious.
There are a few docks, and a few vessels, but it seems like all of them have not been maintained or in use for a very long time. As you approach, you look instinctively westward from how you're standing to the left. And you can see in the distance, even in this darkest of night, these slow churning clouds that rumble and crackle with a distant storm. The water is choppy as it comes towards the city, comes to a rest. there's a flash of lightning. And you swear your eyes are deceiving you, but there is a glimpse of a face in the clouds. But after that instant, it's gone.
It's Lyra!
It's Rock Jesus.
And then there's the
My
distant
lord and savior.
thunder.
I look at Fenrir. I nod, and I walk down to the abandoned shed.
God, fucking fucks.
You know what I'm doing. You can't, you know.
I'm not in
Yeah,
character.
everything you do, you mess up. Let's be honest here.
Oh shit.
Toxic.
Wow!
D&D
TOXIC.
has such a toxic player base.
Accurate.
Never play with this character Flappers. He's so toxic.
He's so toxic. If you see him, report him.
Report him.
So,
Alright.
you make your way down to the docks, and it looks like
do.
this pathway has not been used in a very long time.
Actually,
Mhm.
I'm gonna sit down.
Are you gonna
gonna use
fucking
my-
take a drink?
No. I'm gonna use my favorite enemy thing where if I meditate for an uninterrupted minute, I can sense if there are elves nearby. Then
Such a useless thing.
Shut up!
Since when are we looking for an elf?
What's the radius?
Give me a second.
Is it a mile? Is it 5 miles?
16
I think
miles.
it's like a mile or so.
I can do whatever I want anywhere that I want.
Yeah!
Don't know if that flies with pup.
No
I mean-
DM can stop me.
You can
Don't-
certainly try.
Oh god. My
favorite DM
5
phrase.
miles. 5 miles.
5 miles?
Reveals what type are present, their numbers, and the creature's general direction and distance.
So, you're looking for elves?
Yeah, in a 5 mile radius. Well, it kind of like just forces me to look for elves. It doesn't. Just kind of like a blip,
Yeah.
like a radar type deal.
Yeah. You're getting a lot of the sensations coming from behind you, from the city itself. But up ahead of you, you feel nothing.
All right, I'm gonna walk forward.
Okay.
Motherfuckers.
You make your way down the long, worn path. Nice.
Beautiful.
And eventually come to the dock. There are several crates covered in netting that have long since been abandoned. Birds seem to have made their nest and marked their territory all over the wood and rope. A few of them kind of caw angrily at you before they fly away. And Fenrir kind of just growls in their direction.
How close am I to the shed?
It is not a shed.
Or the
It looks like a large building.
how close am I? Like, am I? I want to go like right up to.
You want to go right to the building?
Are you gonna
Yeah.
fucking...
You follow along the side of the dock. Look at each abandoned pier. There are small sailing structures, and one large, what looks like, in its heyday, could have been a glorious trade ship. But the metal accents and the wood seems to have rotted and rusted over time. It sits partially sunk into the water, as waves kind of lap up against it. And a tattered sail just billows weakly. You hear another distant rumble of thunder.
Spooky.
Shut up, Flappers. This is a very serious moment. This is so serious.
Wow.
I'm gonna walk inside the building. Like, I'm gonna stealth too.
Okay, go ahead and roll stealth.
There we go.
Shut
Roll
up.
stealth for Fenrir as well.
Can I use my luck to stealth? Can I use my luck to stealth?
Yes, you can use your luck.
Alright.
Can he pick or no?
No.
I think he can pick. I think
I don't. I thought you have to accept the new role with luck.
maybe.
I think the
Lucky, you have 3 luck points. Whenever you make an attack roll, an ability check, or saving throw, you spend a luck point to roll an additional d20. You can choose to spend 1 points after you roll dice, but before the outcome is, you can choose whether the d20 is used for the attack. Made against you, and then choose whether the attacker uses the attack rolls. If more than, I don't think it doesn't specify. I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't specify.
Okay.
All right, and 1 sec. I think I found you're in a different PDF.
Amateur hour.
He has a +4 in stealth, so. God, wow.
So fucking stealthy.
I have 1 more luck point.
You could use it on Fenrir, but it wouldn't help you.
I'm going on Fenrir.
What?
There you go. That's better.
Wow, your dog is
Slightly
more
better.
stealthy than you.
He's a wolf. I
someone-
mean, he's supposed to.
Wow, someone's, actually doing something. Fucking miss it.
It's fine. It'll be fine when you're abducted
I'm
and
gonna-
killed.
I'm gonna-
It's fine. I don't care.
Stealth
You guys
inside
remember
the
Rundus?
He was a cool dude.
building.
I liked his dog.
I miss,
you know?
yeah, I was gonna say I miss Fenrir.
I miss Fenrir, and I miss the fact that he took all the alcohol with him.
Yeah. You make your way towards this building, and as you do, you're moving along this old freaky dock. Fenrir kind of gets low and starts sniffing idly, just to make sure that no one's going to get the jump on the both of you. At which point, you promptly put your foot through one of the boards, as the rot seems to have made it very weak and structurally unsound. There's a large, sickening, wet crack as you sink maybe to your knee before you're able to catch yourself.
Shit.
Bye, bitch.
Damn it.
Yo.
I'm gonna just try and pull that out. Like, am I?
Yeah.
So,
It's your like your back foot basically, as you were pushing off to make the next step, just went down.
You put your right
Alright.
foot in, take your right foot out.
Fenrir
Shut up.
Fenrir gets close, kind of sniffs at your face, and then gives you a few wet kisses.
aw. I give him a pat on the head a couple times. As
Pretty
I
please.
continue to go inside the building.
So you heave yourself out. He follows. You enter this open building. There is no. As you get there, you see that there is a large opening that leads out into the water, and what look to be mostly sunken in wooden beams of some kind with a bit of metal. As you turn in, there is the skeleton of a ship that was never completed. Part of the hull is partially constructed with a few bands of wood. What looks to be carefully packaged materials still sit unused, long forgotten by time.
Anything important in the house? Like, maybe like rug or something that might be hidden.
Make an investigation check.
Alright. I'm gonna investigate the whole house.
Well, it's a large building.
Well,
It's
Okay.
one large open chamber.
I'm gonna investigate as much as I can.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh my god.
You killed our DM.
How? Every
I'm just
time.
gonna-
It's
I'm just
2
gonna
nat
quickly
ones in a row.
refresh roll 20, and maybe that fixes my bad luck.
Just gonna open my
Does it ever?
snipping tool again.
Who knows?
Okay, you Squirtle. Okay. um, as you enter, you hear a long creaking noise as a gust of wind rushes in from behind you and pushes against this what kind of looks like a wooden rib cage almost that is the shell of this ship. And as it does, you hear rope straining. And the structure is looking not so sound.
Oh, I'm walking to the noise. I'm doing this.
You walk directly towards the abandoned underbelly of the hull and just look as the beam creak and groan under the force of the shifting weight done by the winds. Doesn't seem to be any visible source of it.
So I'm near the ship. I'm not in the ship.
No, you're near it.
I'm going in the ship.
There's a plank on the inside that leads to the finished, quote unquote,
I'm going there.
section. You
How-
travel further up and enter. And it looks like the partially completed underdeck of a ship. Like it could have been a gallow or area or a barrack area. Though there are no walls and no designating marks of any kind. Just a flat deck. Another deck partially built above you.
Something just doesn't seem right about this place.
Oh, really?
You
None of
can't
what
quite
is
put your
Well, you
finger.
gotta be rude about it.
Yeah. Wow, Dave, I don't need to be in your party.
You're about not to be.
And then Frondis just says I quit and goes back into the forest
Toxic.
now. Like, I don't know what to do. I guess just investigate more.
I mean, a nat one is a nat one, man.
Oh my god. That's
Just fucking come back. Stop.
Right now,
being
it looks like
stupid.
there's an abandoned ship in here that was not completed.
do I hear anything?
Not
Perception
one.
check.
What? Perception?
Make a perception check. That's different.
Okay.
Kind of tilt your head slightly and listen very intently. And you can hear the howling of wind. You can hear the creaking of the wood as it strains and flexes. You can hear water rushing in underneath you. But you hear no people. No telling echo of life.
I think I'm gonna go back to the lone wolf now.
Okay.
To the lone wolf, we aren't even fucking there.
You guys have been sitting in the basement, not the basement, but the first floor of the Lone Wolf. Like, where the fuck is this guy?
Oh, okay. This is fine.
Like, we were supposed to meet him. He's some distance away at this point.
Stupid fucker.
You talk to the blacks, came back. It's been maybe an hour and 15 minutes before Run This shows.
Is it dark? Is it nighttime?
Yes.
While we're sitting there, can I just like watch for any creepers to walk in? Specifically the guy with blonde hair. Specifically him, but anyone else.
Go ahead and roll perception.
Yeah, well,
Oh dang it! Can I?
I think I would be
too
too.
late to ask something, pup. Was that a yes or a no?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna ask, like, on my way back to the lone wolf, is there anything like going on, or just
A lot of
going
people have already gone to bed by this point.
All right, so no one like walking at the
No
middle
one
of the
who's
night.
like stalking through like a Disney villain. No.
No.
Wait, Pup, can I roll perception as well?
Nice voice crack. Nerd.
Thanks. My voice cracks a lot.
Oh.
I did
Alright.
it good. I think we rolled the same thing. My modifier's just
Yeah, it is.
Jesus. So, as the two of you are sitting in the bar, kind of being eagle eye, maybe 20 minutes into waiting for Rundus, you see a trio of young men come in.
Ah, shit.
You have a very well dressed young elven man with dark brown hair and dark skin and these glittering golden eyes.
Oh, shit.
He seems vaguely familiar in a way.
Motherfucker.
At his side is what appears to be a tiefling with peach colored skin and horns that kind of curve and curl backwards, like straight back, like slicked back hair. And he has this dark black hair that falls to his shoulders. And he's smiling easily, talking to third. A human gentleman. Sandy blonde hair. Dressed
hair.
very well.
Blonde hair.
And dark colored eyes.
Oh, she said he had brown eyes. She doesn't remember, but she said brown.
The three of them enter casually, just having what seems to be a pleasant conversation, smiling with ease.
I am going to go up to the bar.
Uh-huh.
Get a drink.
Uh-huh.
Something, I don't just brandy, because I love brandy. And start acting intoxicated. Like, ditzy, intoxicated. Yeah.
Roll a performance check.
Oh no!
Wow, Brie, unbelievable. Look at that modifier. Is performance your specialty?
Wait, shit.
You have no right to say that, okay? That
All of
one's in a
my
row.
feats are gone.
Yeah, I know how to fix that. If you click the,
Yeah, roll 20 updated and it like forced the update on everyone.
if you go into the gear thing, and then look at the, I think it's, it's NPC. It should say, like, encumbrance, inventory, feats. Just put all that to simple.
Simple. Fuck. Everything's on simple. Okay. Core.
Yeah,
There we go.
welcome.
I have advantage. Nope, I'm not trying to pass to someone else. Just kidding, I'm a liar.
Well, even if you had advantage, it'd be 8.
As you get your glass of brandy, and you're like, oh, and you're like swaying. You like you spill it in the brandy on your blouse, and instinctively you just knock out of the performance like, ah, shit. You realize exactly what you're doing as you're doing it, and it completely shatters the illusion.
Nice job, Brie.
Shut the fuck up. I'm just gonna still drink my brandy. How much is it?
6 silver.
If I can't act drunk, I'm gonna be drunk.
Yep.
The 3 gentlemen approach the bar at your side.
Yay. I'm gonna stay there.
Quietly order drink. The human gentleman orders a brandy, similarly to you.
Oh, shit.
While
oh, shit.
the other 2 just simply ask for an ale. And once the 3 have their drinks, they turn. And the tiefling pauses briefly to look at you before they go find a table.
Oh, shit. I'm gonna regret this. Nope,
Don't
never mind. I'm not
you
gonna
know
do it.
You never split the party.
Nope, do it.
Never split the party.
In the
Yep,
middle.
basically.
Like, have you never heard that song?
No, I haven't.
No.
Oh my god, I have to link it to you.
I'm going to
Do it, Bree, do
shoot
it.
a very wary look over to Caston.
Shrug at her.
Is there a chair at the table?
And now I facepalm.
I'm not gonna sit yet.
Okay.
I want to walk over and just see if there's a like put my hand on the back of the chair and
You okay, Bree?
Is she ever when we play D&D?
I want to look at the tiefling.
Okay.
Is this chair taken?
He kind of leans forward on his elbows. No, you're free to take it.
Yes. Can I sit down?
I don't know, can you?
I want to sit down.
Okay. So Leah sits herself
What
down.
is this? What, like middle school?
Yes.
Can I
I was
use
gonna say,
Can I go to the bathroom?
teach your
Oh,
pup
no,
came out.
can you?
The three of them kind of look at each other, then look back at you like.
They thought I was gonna take it.
Yeah, the team was like, I wasn't aware that was what you meant.
I just kind of giggle and I'll be like, if it's a problem, I can leave." I kind of like try and act. No, I'm not gonna try and act like anything. I'm just gonna be like, if it's a problem, I'll leave and just like sip my brandy coyly.
No, there's no problem, miss. Just we weren't expecting such a lovely woman like yourself to be joining us tonight.
Oh my.
Wow, chicka wow wow.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I was gonna say earlier, this is a side note, Leah's totally gonna bang these guys, 100%.
Oh my god.
Stop! Oh fuck. What am I doing?
I don't know. What
I
are
don't
you
know. What are you doing?
The three of them they have their drinks, and the human is just casually sipping, occasionally glancing over at you over the rim of his glass. And as he kind of smiles as he pulls it away from his lips, he goes, I see you have good taste.
Oh shit, he got brandy too. Yeah, I particularly love the brandy in this city. It's basically the only thing I drink. I really like the brandy they have, and I like look at him very purposefully. I really enjoy the brandy they have at the Gilded Cage.
The elven individual pauses for a moment.
This episode of D&D and Misadventures sponsored by Brandy.
He kind of chuckles. Oh, you're familiar with the establishment. We have a friend, as he looks at the elf, who is a very popular employee.
Yeah, I was there earlier. I met a fine woman. It's a great place. I don't know what's going on.
Who was this fine person?
I believe her name was Hazel. She quite
As you
brandy
say
as
that,
well.
as you say that, the elf almost chokes on his drink, and the other two burst out into laughter at his expense. There's like a little bit of redness in his face. He clears his throat.
Oh,
Yes, she's quite popular, isn't she?
I can see why, especially with the reaction that you just had. I take a sip.
And you realize why he looked familiar.
He was the guy that walked down the stairs!
No. He looks very similar to Hazel.
Oh, you are fucking kidding me.
Oh,
What the
God.
fuck?
I cut out. What happened?
Pup.
Bree just told this guy that his sister is fucking great at sex.
So I'm guessing that this guy is the entertainer that we paid for.
Mm-mm.
Are you okay?
Hey Bree. Bree.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird when it's just me and Flappers left in the group.
Uh,
I like how I've
listen,
already been
Lise,
abandoned.
the dog.
You think me and Flappers are gonna be able to find you? Come on.
Bree
Bree.
is having an anxiety.
Bree, good job. Just good job.
I kind of give him a once over, and I'm like, you look
Familiar.
familiar.
He just raises his finger to your face. Don't.
At this point, she literally just bursts out fucking laughing.
And the other two are with you. he just like he hunkers down on both of his elbows and just stares down into his ale like, where the fuck did I go wrong?
What happened with my life?
I look at the other two. I'm like, how are you guys doing?
I hope one of them is like, I know.
They're doing great.
The tiefling is like wiping tears from his eyes. This is the funniest thing that's ever happened to him. And you just, and she just, your sister, like he like cannot contain himself right now. It's partially the alcohol, partially that it was genuinely hilarious. The human seems to have mellowed out afterwards, and he just takes a slight sip and goes, we were just enjoying a break after a day's hard work.
If you don't mind me asking, you guys are in.
Oh, what's their number?
Fuck you. You're in very nice clothes. What exactly is your profession? If that's too far, you don't have to answer.
We help organize the merchants that come in and out of the city from different locations. We help them bring in heavier goods, things of that nature.
And is Hazel's brother? Question mark.
Yes.
I don't think it's a question mark.
Yeah, it's more of an exclamation point.
Like 3.
You might put a very specific
And an
word-
underline.
You might want to put a very specific word in front of brother. That would be twin.
I know which one's better.
Oh my god.
Stop that.
See if they're down for a threesome. I've never heard you make that.
You good, Bree?
Yep. I kind of like hold my hand out towards which one's sitting to my right?
To your right, that'd be the elf.
I kind of hold my hand out. I'm like, I'm Leah.
She might have mentioned me.
No, he looks at your
it's-
hand and then looks at you and just gives a nod.
Oh,
Charmed to meet you.
okay.
You know, it's not like a I don't want to shake hands with you. It's more like I know where that hand's been.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, pup. This is great. This was worth the month break.
Oh, motherfucker. I kind of just like retract my hand with like kind of annoyed look. Like, okay. Did he say his name? I was laughing too hard.
No, he didn't.
Fuck. Potato. I didn't plan this out enough.
No, you did not.
Come back to Redness. Just kidding.
No, I'm
He's
down.
lost on his way.
He's on his way. Fuckity fuck. I just want to drink my brandy.
You just begin furiously sipping your brandy.
I
I'm a
think
potato.
it's chugging at this point.
No, it's not chugging yet.
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 Oh man, just wait. They're gonna like mention what's going on, and the first I'm the blacksmith's brother. My sister's missing. What?
God fucking damn it.
Bombshell after bombshell.
Can I just do like a quick look around to see if either of the two next to me have a handkerchief that has a symbol on it?
Sure. You look at both of them, and you're very up close and personal. It's not a what do you call? It's not a hard perception check. They don't seem to have visible handkerchiefs at the moment.
Fuck.
So, what brings a lovely specimen like yourself to this delightful part of town?
We were just, I was just traveling with some friends, and we came to take a rest while we waited for another one of our friends, but they're rather boring right now, so I just thought I would have a little bit of fun.
Wrong choice of.
The human kind of chuckles under his breath a bit,
Oh,
puts
God.
like
Oh,
leans
God.
forward slightly. Bit of fun, eh? He looks at his elven friend. Can you please stop?
I'm kind of like, I just giggle. This is funny. Fuck.
Is it funny or is it awkward?
Both.
The elf kind of scoots away from you a little bit.
Ow.
They really do look very similar.
Fuck. Stop. I can't.
Just telling you.
I know.
You're so similar. You could say they're twins.
Stop. I will fucking kill you.
At which point the human individual notices that you've got a little bit of a stain on your. Oh, allow me. And he
Oh shit.
pulls a kerchief from an inner pocket. He's palmed most of it, but threads one of his fingers so that it's kind of just coated in the material. Just very, very gently reaches and just tries to soak up as much of the brandy that you threw on yourself as he can.
Can I see any symbols?
Make a perception check. As he's pulling away and he readjusts himself, flashes a brief, charming smile. That's when your eyes kind of wander down to his hands, and as he's delicately and deftly folding it back up, you see the glimpse of a white face with a black mask.
I'm gonna regret sitting here.
Oh my god, Bree's dying in like real life. Those noises.
Sorry, I'm writing.
So what's Flappers and Dave doing?
Yeah.
What are you guys
How are
doing?
you guys doing?
I'm just gonna flash a smile.
How far away from them are we?
You guys are probably at the bar, just keeping an eye on things.
Oh,
Well,
shit.
because I noticed that they came in as well, and I'm
Yes.
assuming we noticed that Liz sat down with them
Yes.
and is cackling away.
They seem to be having a wonderful conversation. There's lots of laughter.
I can't really tell what they're talking about. I can't like.
No, it's a little too crowded to really discern.
Okay, so I just wait.
Fuck.
At least it looks like it's going well.
Yeah, it works for me.
Flappers, are you doing anything?
Is he
Did
still
you
here?
ripping my chair apart?
Flappers, you're muted.
My mic was muted.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Flappers?
Um,
Can we not let him walk over to me, please?
I thought about it, but I don't want to ruin it that badly. I think honestly, I just walk up and you know what? I'm feeling classy. I just get a nice little sipping glass of whiskey.
Okay.
A little
I'll set you back
Rock
like a
sip.
shot of whiskey. I know.
Yeah, but I'm only gonna sip it. But yeah, yeah, sure, shot.
I'm gonna sip a shot.
Yeah. I
You
guess
sip whiskey.
he gets a straw. Just.
Yeah, this is what Garrick thinks is classy. All right.
That'll run you about 3 silver.
Okay.
God fucking damn it.
I feel like my authority's not being respected here, puppy.
Bite her ear. Showed alpha.
No.
Your
Biting
puppy is
her
like,
Have
ear.
you have you done that thing to display dominance yet?
Yeah, bite the ear.
No. That's one thing you can do, but there's another thing that's a little more humane than biting her.
Biting?
That's,
I don't know what you're talking about.
You have to like make her lay down and then hold her down. And
oh
then
yeah, I think I know
even
what
if
you're talking
she
about.
if she struggles, you like let out like a growl. Like you growl at her
Nice.
and then you have to wait for her to
What's your next?
relax. And as soon as she's relaxed, then you decide to let her go. I did that with Jada, and she doesn't seem to reject my
I might try that at some point because she is not understanding. Please don't bite me. Like it's
Oh.
play biting. And
I
she
know,
doesn't- but
I mean-
still, like I need to teach you to not do that.
The other thing that you can do is yelp like a puppy every time she bites you. Because that's
Oh,
how
no,
they
Or-
that's how they learn the limit of what they can do
Mhm.
when it comes to fighting, play fighting. So if you whimper like a every time she bites you, it shows her that she's being too rough with you. And you have to repeatedly do that until she gets used to the notion that humans are more delicate.
That's actually very good.
And bite her ear.
I love dogs.
I am not biting her ear.
You don't have to bite that hard.
No, I know, but I don't want to bite her. Like,
You don't want a mouthful of hair either. Anyway,
yeah, that too. But she's kind of dirty right now. 'Cause I had to
Diva.
give her
Yeah.
bleach treatment, and so I can't bathe her.
Dave, what you doing?
I said I'm just
You
waiting.
just gonna watch?
Yep. Well,
Bree, what's
keep an eye
happening?
out.
I'm just gonna try and start like a casual conversation about stuff. I don't know. Not bring out the gilded cage.
Puppy,
Matt,
right?
Has Runda
This
showed
is
up
my
yet?
chair.
Not yet. This is a conversation that's happening over the course of like a
Ooh.
15-minute span.
Oh. Your mic is
Like-
freaking out, pup.
Woohoo!
Robo puppers in disguise.
Exterminate.
Holy shit!
Mommy, doctor,
That
got a flashback.
was perfect. I'm gonna go have some
Yeah, holy
flashback
shit.
and cry in
Oh
bed
god,
now.
we're all gonna
Bye.
die. They're coming.
Hello.
Yeah,
Alright, that's
you
better.
fixed
Is that
it.
better?
Thanks for not being a Dalek
A
anymore.
million
Yeah,
times
I
better.
appreciate that on a personal level.
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Regardless, Rundus will be away for a little while longer. So
Alright.
you went to like legit
can't get
the
that
other side of
one.
town.
You have like an hour before you get this.
Am I almost out of brandy?
Yeah.
Can I go get another one?
As you go to get the human goes, oh no, allow me.
Shit.
As he stands and approaches the bar.
Fuck. The human's Hazel's
Copy.
brother, right?
No.
The human's the blonde.
Yes.
Just get your own drink. Just get your own drink.
Nope, I'm gonna let it happen.
You're gonna get roofied, 100%.
How do you...
You're gonna get the D&D equivalent of roofies.
Bada bada bee was Bill Cosby.
God damn it.
The human turns into Jello Pudding Pop.
No, see, I didn't do that so you would come back. I did that so you would go play with that toy. This is my
Cash-
chair. It's a
Ian.
good chair. I
Castian.
don't like my other
Yeah.
chair.
You watch as the blonde gets up, approaches the bar, and orders 2 more glasses of brandy. Just casually waits. Checks the cuff of his sleeve. And the 2 glasses arrive.
Do I see him do anything to the drinks?
No?
Okay. I wait.
I believe in you.
Fuck.
He brings back both glasses and sets one and down in front of you, and puts the other in front of himself. And he raises his glass a bit. To good taste.
I'll cheers.
Takes a sip.
I'll make it... Fuck it, I'm taking a sip too.
Okay.
Do you ever regret?
No.
Every day of my life.
No. Can't regret. You can't regret.
Remember the second Bree said thought about sitting down and she's like, I'm gonna regret this.
Three. You got this.
Got this.
Over the course of the next few minutes,
Well, she didn't let me do anything else, so this is good, guys.
you continue having casual conversation, and
Okay.
you're slowly sipping this glass of brandy. Man, you are really feeling it. Like,
Please don't die, Bray. Don't get rupee.
you are really like you're not gonna go unconscious, but like the whole world is tilting slightly to the right. Oh man.
Three, you're gonna get roofie.
I think I already did.
You know, I feel like Leo would know not to stranger.
You know what? Fuck you.
You're not gonna drink it?
I do what I want.
I'll drink it.
Yeah.
Well, you're lost on the way to
I
somewhere.
was saying that in your voice, Dave. Like, dude,
Can I like still make out my surroundings?
Not really.
Fuck.
People's faces are starting to blur together, man.
oh my god, you screwed up.
Can I like?
Wait, this is actually
Dave.
perfect.
Dave,
Yep.
roll perception.
Yeah. You're fucked.
and the first player death is
as
Bree.
the people at the bar are shifting, and you briefly lose sight of Bree for just a millisecond,
God no.
and as they move back out of the way, she's gone. Like you don't see Leah there.
And I have no idea which way.
You see the three of them escorting a girl you do not recognize out of the door.
They use
Did they-
illusion magic.
Okay.
Magic.
Rip,
Stop.
fucking rip
Oh
Leah.
my god. You
She'll
guys are
be missed.
I'm
How do we end up in this? Like, I'm in jail. Fuck you.
Oh my god.
Leah, you feel the ground underneath you become a little less like solid, and like you're out in the open, and then all of a sudden it's really, really dark, and you hear a crack, and then you kind of lurch to the side as you feel like something is moving you.
Oh no. I still don't have like my surroundings at all. I'm still like
No,
in a
you-
mess.
You're starting to feel sicker.
Oh shit.
Perfect.
Okay, so they walked out now.
They,
They just left, or
in like the blink of an eye, they were sitting there, and they were out the door.
okay. I wait like a second or two, and then I motion to Garrick, and I walk outside.
As you walk outside, you see an elven individual climbing into a carriage.
But I see them. Like that's. Can I tell if that's the same?
It's a little dark
Same
out.
elf?
Do you have dark vision?
I do.
Okay, so it looks like the same elf.
Okay.
And then
And
the
Garrick's with
carriage
me.
takes off.
Garrick's with me right now.
Is he?
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Fuck.
So I summon my little owl named Oswald.
Do you have an owl?
I have a familiar.
That's so cute.
And
Wait,
you
what-
complete the
are you-
summon and out, and Oswald appears on the back of your wrist. And
Hey,
goes to prove his
buddy.
feathers.
Uh,
Ruffles up as you give him a head scratch.
so I point at the carriage. I say, "You see the carriage? I want you to follow it, but stay back and stay in the air."
He kind of waits a moment, and then with a massive effort of the wings, just takes to the skies and begins slowly drifting, kind of figure S-ing.
Is this carriage
Around
kind of
them.
like sauntering away, or is it like?
It's
Fold
not
up.
in a rush.
Okay.
But it is moving.
Now I have a question.
Yeah.
For you. So for the find familiar or the familiar, if as long as I'm in 100 feet, I can see and hear what it sees. While I'm doing that, can I still walk, or am I assuming that my own senses are? Oh wait. During this time, you are deaf and blind with
Yeah,
regard to your own senses. So would I still be able to communicate?
You'd still be
If
able
I'm
to
doing-
speak, yes.
Um, I point at the owl. Wait, yeah. I point at the owl. I go to Garrick. Don't lose sight of that owl. And then I hop on his back and I tell him to
They're
go
asking
after
me
it.
to do something.
Garrick, make a strength check.
Oh
Ah.
shit, he has less strength than me. I forgot about
I
this.
have to get up out of my bed.
Can I make it for him? Can it be my strength?
Nope.
Can I just say? You know, no. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it.
No, I'm
was
so
texting
good
people
at
and playing
this.
mobile games while I was waiting for my turn.
I'm so good at this.
Can my computer turn on? Uh-oh.
Did you turn your computer off?
I didn't do anything. It's all in all.
He did the same thing during our D&D session the other night. He just like he kept having to like get up, go to his computer to use Roll20.
Do you have like a wireless headset or something?
I'm using my phone.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Don't
should I
you
use strength
Think he's
save?
okay.
don't you.
Strength
that's a save.
check,
Damn
not
it.
save.
Yeah.
And how much do you weigh,
Uh,
Cassian?
Dave weighs 35
10 pounds.
10.
I'm kidding. 41.
41.
Oh,
Oh, even
Yeah,
better.
you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
Me strong, man.
So you are completely blind and deaf.
On his back.
Garrick, do you have dark vision?
Do I have dark vision? I think I actually do. Hold up.
I'm sure you do.
Hold up.
I think dwarves do
Some
have
races
dark vision.
don't.
Yeah.
Let me just check my character sheet for him. I don't have it. Just kidding. I lied. I don't have it anymore.
I don't have it anywhere, but I swear to God, I read. I do.
Oh
I
my
can
god,
open it
now I
up.
understand why friend
Yeah, they have dark vision.
Yeah.
What?
Now I understand why at the end of the first session when it's here but it's not, it's here but it's not. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, he has dark vision.
You keep an eye on the owl and just start going down the street. Rundus, you're turning onto the main avenue. And you see Castian on Garrick's back.
I'm running to them. I'm just gonna follow them. Like I'm not even gonna question what's going on. Like I guess I see like like what's your name, Dave? Sorry.
Castian.
Castian. I'm guessing I see him like doing something.
She
He's
just
like-
said you see him on Garuk's back.
No, yeah, no. I'm like right
He's-
next to them.
He seems to be, his eyes seem like focusless.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
I'm
not
like a
bother
warg.
them. Yeah. So I'm just gonna kind of follow.
As you guys pursue Oswald through the city, doing your best to keep speed. You feel Oswald start to move towards the edge of your vision, and you can see that as the carriage turns off the main road, it begins to pick up speed.
So it's like heading out of the city. It looks like the direction.
It's turning towards the north.
That's not the docks.
The
Is
docks
it
are on the
north?
north side of town.
Oh shit.
Is it north towards the gold district?
No.
No. I literally have no idea.
Oswald is starting to have to put a lot of effort into keeping up with the carriage, and you can sense that he is even at the edges of your vision.
So he's heading north on main road.
Mhm.
I mean, there's not much. And it's getting out of sight of him.
He's nearing that 100-foot threshold. If he speeds up to keep pace with it, you'll lose sight.
Okay.
Do you want to call him back or keep going?
Just keep him on the boundary. So
Okay,
at the
he
100 feet.
hovers at that 100 feet and kind of just. He has to stop every once in a while because you guys are traveling on foot. Garrett can only move half speed with him carrying you. So that's roughly 15 feet every 6 seconds. If he dashes, which I'm assuming he is, that's roughly 25 feet.
Man, I wish I
Every
knew
6
Rundus
seconds.
was there.
Yeah, you're deaf and blind. You
Yeah, I have no idea.
Eventually, it comes to a point where you guys have made some ground, but the horses are just a little too fast.
Is it too late to
Say
Alright.
sorry.
shut up? I'm gonna ask Rook. What are you doing? Let's go. Why are you carrying him? Poppers.
Sorry, what?
Oh my
Why are you carrying
gosh.
him? What? I'm asking why you're
He's
carrying
lagging. I
Dave.
can't hear him.
He's asking
Why are you-
why you're carrying Dave.
Why are you carrying Dave?
Castian.
I'm sorry, Castian. I'm just gonna call him Cass.
That
Yeah.
works.
He just kind of told me to pick him up. I think he's a little blind right now.
Did he tell you where to go?
He's just kind of pointing me. I guess I'm his little steed.
Very well.
Nay.
Nay.
By this point, the carriage is out of sight.
Okay, but I saw which direction it was going.
It
And
was careening north along the road.
along the road. And this is still inside the city?
Yes.
Okay.
But it gets to a
So-
point where he can't stay within the radius and keep line of sight on it.
Okay. So I call him back and I stop doing my whole seeing through him and shit.
Oswald comes and lands on your head and nestles down.
Can I have one of those?
Give him a little tickle.
Cute birdie.
I look around, reorienting myself. I see Rundus. I'm like, oh hey, what's going on? Yeah. So
Hey, dude.
let's go north. Right now they're taking Leah, and
You don't know
we
that.
gotta go find them. Yeah, they got Oh yeah, I don't know that. But we're
I mean,
looking for
It was a
him.
chick.
Yeah. So yeah, we found the guy. At least I think it's the guy, the one that we're looking for. And do I know that Rundus hates elves?
I don't hate elves. They're just my favorite enemy.
Do I know that?
No, not really. He hasn't made a
Shit.
spectacle of it.
Okay.
I mean, we have
Um,
a spectacle of it in the house.
I did. They took Leah, the elf.
They did.
He looks wide-eyed and he begins to meditate. If he can find a blip, because if the thing I copied and pasted says it's correct.
Oh, this hurts. This hurts so much.
Okay.
Gives you advantage to track favorite enemies as checks.
Oh.
It's not
Oh,
that.
Oh, well,
Here,
what's
you guys
this?
can keep talking while I'm looking
Oh, what's this?
for my thing. While tracking other
God.
creatures,
Hey, hey, hey.
meaning the favorite enemy. I might need to look back just in case they didn't copy and paste correctly. While tracking other creatures, you learn their exact number, their size, and how long they pass. No, wait, I don't think that's it. One sec.
That's not the
No, that's not it.
primeval
No,
awareness.
Prime evil. I am prime evil. Such scary much wow.
Track favorite enemy. You guys can continue to talk while I'm looking for this.
I don't know what we're gonna talk about.
Leah,
Hi, is me.
you've gone from only seeing blurred faces and figures to only having brief moments of clarity. Otherwise, it's just blackness. Your head is kind of swimming real bad. You have these moments of awareness where you get a glimpse of a hand, or the glimpse of like a smile or something.
And in the background, she hears Billy Bob will Bill Cosby.
God dang it, virus.
You can feel that someone is moving you. Aside from the jostling of the carriage, you're being moved,
Aw, dang it.
and you feel really cold.
You're taking my shit. Fuck. Can I try to move around at all?
Give me a con save. SOS.
Yeah. Con save.
Yeah, that's primeval awareness.
Yeah, no, I was just making sure. So when it says what type, wait, I don't know if Leah is a certain type of elf.
Did he have to pick a sub race of elf? Or could
No.
he
No.
just-
No, just elves. I'm guessing it would tell the sub race.
I mean, if they're your favorite enemy, you could probably tell the difference between them. I would hope you could tell the difference between them.
I think that's up to Pup to decide if I do or don't.
With humanoids, it's tough. Because to say that you can specify whether someone is a high elf or a wood elf or a dark elf, that seems a little clean cut. But then you go, if someone's favorite enemy is humans, there are 20 different subraces of humans.
Well, my favorite enemy is the elves, so
Yeah. I don't know. Just the idea of someone's favorite enemy being human in a human capital. And it's like, well, there's a Talustan family over there, and a Mulan over, like, God, that'd be a pain in the ass.
So what you're saying is,
No.
I know Leah's subtype.
You would know high elf, wood elf, or dark elf.
All right. So, but I don't know her specific. I guess
I mean, how familiar are you with elves?
I'm pretty familiar with them.
She's probably considered a moon elf.
All
which would
right.
be a
Oh,
high
that's
elf.
right. All right. So, all right.
Alright, so, alright. Alright. Sorry.
I'm just gonna turn to Cass and Gur is Flapper's name.
Grr.
Yeah, Gur and Cass.
Grr, Cass.
Okay. It's not good they took Leah. We also have to deal with Rose being in jail, which I kind of forgot about. I'm not.
Oh
gonna
shit, and I
mouse
have
wandering.
the thing that gets us into the
Yeah, you do.
Yes!
Yeah,
Do
you
we have to
do.
rescue her? We can't just leave her?
We'll get her.
Wow.
No, we'll get Rose. I'm just my focus right now is the dude.
Yeah.
That we have the description of.
You still
saw-
feel really cold, Leah.
What was he?
I'm really
What was the guy?
cold.
Like,
Well, I was
he-
gonna explain that he had he had two buddies, a tiefling and an elf. But his description matched exactly.
You kind of
Like-
open your hand slightly, Leah, but it's really all you have the
Yeah?
consciousness to do.
Can I say
It is-
anything?
No, it's just. But as you do open your hand, someone you don't know who puts their hand in yours.
Okay.
Wow, Chihuahua.
oh, they're holding hands. I'm sorry.
So, run this.
Mhm.
You're gonna use
Alright.
primeval awareness.
I am. I'm going to use primeval awareness
Okay. So you have to stop and meditate for a minute.
for a minute, uninterrupted.
Uninterrupted.
I'm just gonna sit like on a porch or something, or like next in front of a house.
Yeah.
And just let me do my thing, and then I go and meditate.
Right. So you
And
you
I-
shut your eyes and concentrate for that minute. And you are feeling the presence of elves in many directions. Dark elves, wood elves, high elves. This is a many cultured city. There are
Just
some that are
say-
moving, some that are not. It's hard to pick out an individual
Well-
when you've got maybe 336 within a 5-mile radius.
Jesus Christ.
It does say what type are present and their numbers, so I think it would kind of narrow down a little bit.
Yeah, but you're looking for in general direction, so just north.
A group of
You're looking for high elves to the north of you, and there are several. Some that are moving, some that are not.
She is moving, so are some moving faster than others?
Yes. Particularly a pair of them.
Wink.
What type of elves are this? Is this pair?
They're both high elves.
Okay.
I hate myself. Sorry.
I'm gonna exit my meditative state.
I'm gonna exit.
Yeah, bye guys.
Just gonna leave you on read, and
Rundus just has a heart attack.
Rundus just dies. Just fucking
And
dies.
eats Rundus and then eats himself. And then
Comes back. Starts winking again.
So, the three of you are left alone in the dark, in the middle of the night,
In the
with
middle
two
of
of
the
your
God.
two of your
never again.
companions whisked away to locations mostly unknown.
Where is it?
Man,
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind
it
of
is
just
hard to
getting
get rid of them. Alright, time to start the campaign.
I'm. What's the song from The Hangover? Like, we're the three best friends.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Regardless,
We're Scooby Doo. Oh my God, we technically are Scooby
I
Doo,
think
except
this
we missed
is-
Velma and Daphne.
yo,
How about we listen to Pup? I know exactly
I-
what the next words are, but
I think this is a fantastic place to end our session.
oh my god.
You all said primeval awareness was useless.
I never said it was
Oh my-
useless.
No, we said it was useless when you were at the docks.
So useless. What do you?
What did I just do?
And bam.
You rolled a d20.
0 successes.
What?